I hope Jumbo's doing the wiki. I assume he is.
Welcome, everyone, to the 2021 NFLHC draft. I'm joined by Saluna.
Hey guys, what's going on? I promise I won't have microphone problems this year. I tested shit beforehand, actually.
And Neo. he is here, but
There's an echo there.
And we will be joined by other people throughout the night. Tonight is just round one. We're starting in about 10 minutes. A lot of interesting trade talk today with the number one pick. The Chargers, of course, have the number one pick. And from what we've heard, there's been interest, but no one's really made a serious offer. And the Chargers are kind of baffled by that. What do you guys think is going to happen here?
Well, I've heard conflicting sides on this from like 4 or 5 different GMs that they claim that they have made somewhat legitimate offers, but that the Chargers have rejected basically all of them. I don't know how true that is from either side, but it seems like there were some people that tried.
Yeah, based on my sources, I've heard that the Chargers thought the market for this pick would be a lot greater than it has turned out to be. And I have heard, however, that they've sort of reevaluated, and the last couple of contacts they've made with other teams have been, a little, not necessarily conciliatory, but understanding that they may have overestimated the market. So we may see a move happen here. I still am not sold on it, though.
Well, if they do not trade it, does everyone agree that Easley is the pick for the Chargers?
Honestly, I don't really know anymore because I don't think it'd be a good pick for the Chargers unless, and I've talked about this at length over the past couple days in the shout box, but if they take Easley, they need to move either or both Miller and Chung, which seems really terrible considering that they've invested 2 years worth of first round draft picks in edge rushers, 4-3 edge rushers. So they can't really move to a 3-4 easily. So I don't easily. So I don't know. So I don't know what they do there. You know.
I mean, I can tell you what I think they should do. I don't know if it's too late to spark this, as they, they're a little out of contact for the next few minutes, and it may be, unless they can get something done quickly. If they could swap down just a handful of spots, maybe to the Patriots, who may in fact want to get up ahead and draft a quarterback or something like that. If they could move down just a couple of spots and take Beckett Miller, I think that would be a good move for them. If they can't make the move, they could just take Miller to first overall. I know it. People don't seem to think offensive linemen are as sexy, but Miller's about as highly graded as they come. He's considered intelligent. I don't think it would be a bad move, and you don't have to worry about fitting easily in your offense. It also helps protect Matty Swift because some people don't necessarily care for him. He's a little polarizing as a prospect, but they have invested in him. They drafted him early. They started him, and at the end of the year, when they sort of changed their scheme a little bit, he was a little more successful. And I feel like he doesn't really have a lot of weapons, so you can't truly evaluate how good he is yet. So however you feel about him, I think they need to give him more time, and I think doing something like drafting Miller is a step in that direction.
See, I somewhat agree with that. The problem here is that, like, the value at 1 seems... Yeah, I mean, you'd have to trade down. I don't know. I think Miller probably would be, of the top people, would probably be the best choice for the Chargers, but I don't know about the current situation with the QBs and the needs of the teams directly behind him. So I don't know if he could... The ideal situation, I think, honestly, would be a trade down to 4 with the Patriots.
Yeah, with the Patriots. I would agree with that.
Yeah. I feel like this draft is really bad for the Chargers just because of the way the picks lined up and what their needs are. If they, Easley is clearly the number 1 prospect in this draft, in my opinion.
No question there.
And the Chargers, they don't need a quarterback. I mean, they could take a quarterback, but I don't think it'd be a smart move. But Washington, Buffalo, and New England, the next 3 picks all need a quarterback, and there's only 2 quarterbacks. So anyone trading up is probably taking Bowman or Foster, I would imagine. because anyone who would trade up for Easley, I mean, based on what they think he's worth, I don't think anyone would give up that much for an outside linebacker, no matter how good he is. And these quarterbacks are pretty much, in my eyes, can't miss. So whoever, like Washington, isn't in the perfect position. They're going to get a quarterback no matter what. And Buffalo, I feel like they can pass on a quarterback, and it's a little risky for New England to trade up because Buffalo might pick something else there. But I feel like it's really hard for the Chargers to move back and not end up like in the teens, which I doubt they want to trade back that far.
Right, and so but I think we're all in agreement, obviously, that Easley is the clear, in a way, best prospect in the class. It seems like we could be potentially looking at a situation, if the Chargers don't take Easley, say they're able to swap with the Patriots at the last minute. Patriots take a quarterback, maybe Bowman. Redskins take a quarterback at 2. Buffalo could take any number of prospects. Where do we see Easley going? Because unless Buffalo takes him at 3, if the quarterbacks are gone, and they're not really a 3-4 defense, they're very much a 4-3. Do they sort of? Could we see Easley drop a little bit? Is he going to make it past the Bears?
There's no way.
I think the Bears would definitely take him, or they would hold that pick ransom and try to get somebody to trade up for him. Because at 5, Easley is insane value.
Yeah, no doubt there.
The Bears also, I believe, run a 3-4 with Medley, and they have another good outside linebacker who I can't remember his name right now. And they also have like one of the best pass rushes already. That would be kind of an insane pass rush. Unfortunately, the Bears really need offense at this point. But I mean, if he fell to him, that you can't just not take him.
Yeah, I think if Beckett Miller does not go to the Chargers at 1 or the Chargers at 4 or somewhere else in between there that they've traded to, I think the Bears could sort of fall into him there if Easley's not the guy.
The biggest issue here is that, I mean, I coached Easley for 2 years, and I think GRE can probably attest to this, but he's really not great for coverage. Like, he's an exceptional edge rusher. He's like probably one of the best. He has like a ridiculous amount of sacks, ridiculous amount of fumbles forced, but his coverage really is a bit lacking. So in like a 4-3, I just feel like he's going to get exposed. So he should be the number 1 pick. I just don't know what the Chargers do if they go with it.
Yeah, it's sort of a mess there. It's a lot of investment that they're, how do they really play him? You can't really move him to defensive end. He's not a fit there. He's clearly a 3-4 outside linebacker. You got to blitz him most downs.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think, honestly, that the current draft order that we have of the first 4 teams is not great for each team's need. If it doesn't change at all and we have Chargers, Redskins, Bills, Patriots, I think both the Chargers and Patriots are in relatively shitty positions.
Yeah, I think Washington's actually in decent shape.
Yeah, Redskins are fine. Bills is very dependent on what happens with the first pick.
Yeah, they could go a lot of directions there. But they also have a lot of room to play because they've also got a pick at 13.
Just FYI, we got exactly 2 minutes until the clock begins.
I mentioned earlier, by the way, Buffalo, I think if I were them, I would pass on a quarterback at that spot. If it was Bowman, I'd probably take him. But if it was Foster, I'd probably not. I'd probably let him fall to New England. Although it kind of sucks because that's a division rival. But I would take something else, probably like one of the wide receivers at that spot. And they have another first-round pick, which they can use to build more offense. And then they have a high pick in the second round. I could see them going for somebody who's maybe not going to start this year because they did trade for Kamau Davis. Remember, they could afford to wait to pick a quarterback and pick up Luke Trickett, who is a very highly valued prospect, even though he's maybe not ready to start right away. I think that would be a smart move for them if the quarterbacks do fall to them.
There's two problems with that, I think. The first is that you're essentially giving the Patriots Foster, which I don't know if you want to deal with that in case he turns out good. And secondly, they just tried this raise the prospect thing with Kaplan, the San Jose State guy, like the last 3 years, and that didn't work out at all. So I don't really.
The other thing is they could afford also to next year. There's so many quarterbacks coming out. We don't know how good they're going to be, obviously, but it's a much better quarterback class, as far as depth at least, than this year. So I would imagine that there's still going to be some 5-star QBs left at the end of the first round, if not into the second round next year, just based on how many there are versus how many teams need a quarterback.
All right, it is time. So let me officially open the. Or I guess I'll just do it. I'll open the 2021 NFLHC draft, our 8th edition, and the Los Angeles Chargers are now officially on the clock.
And Saluna has cut the ribbon.
I turned it on, okay. I was going to say Inspiral check if it's not on, but I think it's on. By the way...
No, Cade. I don't think there's any chance that Luke Cobb or Weldon go number 1 overall. I would be shocked.
Yeah, I don't think so. There's no way, yeah.
I don't see it. I like Cobb quite a bit, but I don't like him nearly that much.
Alright, so this pick, I feel like for the last several weeks, it's kind of waffled between, oh, I'm going to trade it, oh, I'm going to take easily, well, maybe now I'm going to trade it again. So I'm curious. I mean, this is essentially going to set the tone for the rest of the first round, because if it is easily, the Chargers need to do something with their defensive ends, because you cannot force that. If it's not easily, then we have like essentially all the mocks and all discussions are wrong already, and it's going to start going way off the rails.
Yeah.
Is this the most intriguing first overall pick we've had in a long time?
I don't really know. I mean, last year I was the second pick, so I couldn't tell from like a perspective of like a viewer, but like it was pretty clear that it was Tyler Jones and Raheem in some order. So there was intrigue there, but I mean, this is gonna depending on who this is, this could totally rearrange like the top 5.
I think the year, I think it was 2015 with Tyrone Jones and Brian Brown and Thomas Wheeler, like all being super hyped up, and Brian Brown having that injury history really dropped him, but he should have been the number 1 overall pick, most likely.
Tyrone Jones was still a good pick, I would think.
I'm not saying he was a bad pick, but
who was the second pick that year?
The second pick I think was Wheeler.
No, Wheeler was 4th.
Not sure then. Was it Campbell?
I'm looking right now.
Either way, I think that draft, like that injury history, really changed things. Because I think Brian Brown would have been number 1 if he didn't have the injury history. Tyrone Jones, obviously, elite prospect, elite player now. So it's not like it was a bad pick at all. Yeah.
So we've got some unofficial reports that that easily will be the pick.
I like if this happens, then Miller and Chung are I mean, if he switches to a 3-4 with Easley, which is probably what he should do if he takes him number 1 overall, then he should just get rid of Miller and Chung. There's no point. The Chargers have arrived in the draft room, apparently, 4 minutes after their pick started.
And he is asking for a link. Oh, there we go. We've got it.
Yeah, Pump was on the train or something. He's like a referee for college games who's going to his game, I guess.
Yeah. So, but like I said, so if he does pick easily, we're going to have an interesting discussion here about, essentially he's not pushing the team forward at all in that case, because he's not. He wasted 2 years of defensive end picks.
No, he's essentially resetting his entire front seven, because not only are you having to, you've got to probably sell off your defensive ends, change styles on that front. I don't know that your defensive tackles are perfectly suited to a 3-4. And then Tunch, I think, can play in any defense. It doesn't matter for him, so you're fine on that front. But that's a lot to sell off, and that's a lot of pieces to replace. But it's so much of an investment in Easley. It's a number 1 overall pick. What do you really do there?
Honestly, I totally had even forgot about Tunch, which makes this. I think at this point, I actually think you don't go easily.
I wouldn't, but that's just me. The Chargers are very much an enigma in my mind. I'm not sure they could go in any direction, and it almost wouldn't surprise me.
I think Tunch actually would fit a 3-4 pretty well, but
yeah, I think Tunch is good enough to play.
The problem with Tunch, like he's not very smart, so I don't know if he's the one making the calls on that defense, but
he's the mic, right?
Yeah, he is the mic.
I remember his Wonderlic was pretty low. That Alabama education.
Everybody knows that people from Alabama who go to Alabama are just the worst.
See, the problem here is that, like, if he doesn't go easily, which, like I said, I think easily would be a bad pick, but I think a quarterback would be an even worse pick, so.
I don't know. I think I would rather. I wouldn't like taking a quarterback here, but I think I would rather take a quarterback if it's Bowman. I would rather take Bowman than take Easley here, because if you take Easley, you're changing your entire defense. If you take Bowman, I mean, yeah, there's at least an argument for, okay, well, we're not sold on Swift or something, but I wouldn't like either pick. Again, if I were them, I would either take Miller or try to. I'm guessing they may be trying to quickly throw a deal together with someone, but it's got to be Miller. To me, should be the pick.
I feel like if the Chargers really want to change their team, they could trade out into the teens with somebody. I'm not sure who would trade up that far, but they really need a running back too. And there are no running backs outside the first round, I don't think, that are really long-term starters in this league. So that's something they could consider. If they drop into the teens, they could draft Miller or DNJ and give Swift some help so he doesn't have to throw 40 times a game.
Yeah, I mean, they need weapons. They really do. They need weapons. They need to protect whoever their quarterback is. There's a lot of needs in that team. Obviously, they've lost a lot of games, but
there are 3 minutes left on the clock for the Chargers. The Chargers pick is in. With the first overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Shane Easley, outside linebacker, Penn State. The Washington Redskins are now on the clock.
Well, here we go.
I think this pick is kind of a foregone conclusion now. It's going to be Bowman or Foster, whichever one they prefer.
But I feel like the quarterback pick here is pretty obvious, so we can discuss this Chargers thing. So,
yeah.
Does he trade? Is he going to trade Miller and Chung now? Because
I think maybe he should, but I think I wouldn't be surprised to see if he just switches, and he may sit on that. He may sit on that and try to fit them into a 3-4 system. It might happen.
I think Chung might be okay in a 3-4, which is why I think he has not been good in a 4-3.
Yeah, Chung seems more chunky. He seems like more of a 3-4 guy.
Miller is
4-3. What was that?
That was feedback from my mic being on when your mic was on.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, Miller is definitely a 4-3 guy all the way in my mind. I don't like his fit. I think you could trade Miller. You could see them trade Miller to try to get back into the first round here, to get another asset, maybe something to help Swift out on offense. Something.
And
here we've already got the Lions. Not the Lions, the Broncos, the Denver Broncos, trying to get an in-division trade.
Pick is in. With the second overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Tanner Bowman, quarterback, Penn State. Buffalo Bills are now on the clock.
No surprise there.
All right, so that'll be interesting. The biggest issue with the Redskins, and we haven't really touched on this very much, but their roster is complete ass. Like, it's like the most average team I've ever seen with 0 stars. They do have Sam Hillerweeden, which will be good, I think. Bowman does like quick receivers, target receivers.
They do have Romanowski too, who's pretty good on defense. And
who did they sign for? They got some of those Bengals cast-offs, right?
I think they might have gotten some O-line, but I'm not sure. I'll go look.
Yeah, they walked into free agency and took away some guys. One thing I do want to say, I think this Bills pick could be intriguing because they have a little versatility. They could go some directions here. They could go quarterback. They could go Muhammad Foster. They could.
I gotta say, I had this discussion with Alien like yesterday, but there are a lot of good. Like next year's draft is so much better. But there's like there's like 6 quarterbacks next year. So and they have Kamau.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go quarterback. They could, and it's an argument that's been made. I think Alien it was spot on with that, and I had that discussion as well yesterday with my own franchise and with some other guys. I do feel like they're gonna look at this and say we've got Kamau. There's a good class next year. If we want, we could maybe go draft a quarterback later if we really felt like it. But they've got those 2 early first-round picks. I think they're going to go try to get more talent elsewhere and see what Kamau can do with that talent. And that's a move that I think would very much fit the Bills' personality. Far more than okay, let's take the quarterback now and just start him off and see how it's going. But I think that going at another position is what they're going to end up doing.
Just to update, the Redskins signed Walter Adair, 93 overall tackle.
That's
so they got some protection for their new quarterback, and they have a receiver from last year. They might not be total ass this year. I mean, Bowman's going to take a little while to adjust to the pros, but I could see them getting depending on how the rest of the draft goes, they might be like a 6-win team next year.
Getting a dare is big here when you're drafting a young quarterback, giving him that sort of that protective shield on the blind side. That's a good move.
By the way, there's 10 5.0 quarterbacks that are seniors next year.
Holy shit!
That's not including anyone who could early declare like Marcus Black.
If anybody early declares, they better be transcendental.
I mean,
because good lord, the competition.
This year is just such a bad year. Like,
except for offensive tackles, it basically is.
And wide receivers. Apparently, 10 is probably much closer to the average than it's 2 this year, I think, right?
Yeah, there's only 2. And one of them was an early deck, so
that's really sad. So, what else could the Bills do here if they do not go? Do they go back to their defensive line strategy?
I mean, they definitely could. Like, Sela has got a lot of hype, and they did trade Kendall to the Houston, who immediately traded him elsewhere. But I mean, so that's the place they could go. They could, if they want to be absolutely crazy, they could reach for a corner.
I think Buffalo would be smart here to take a wide receiver. They are pretty horrid at the wide receiver position. Alternatively, they could take Silo Latomo, or however you say that. Oh, their pick is in, I think. Arizona traded up
to the Cardinals.
Oh, there it is.
What is the trade? The trade is... Oh, wow. It's Arizona's first, number 26, their first next year, and their 6th rounder for number 3. So they now have 3 picks in the top 15, but no first rounder next year.
Wow. So they kept the ability. They kept all 3 firsts this year, basically. They still have 3 firsts. But they pick again at 6. Oh, no, Minnesota.
Boys, we got a switch up happening here. With the 3rd overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Beckett Miller, offensive tackle, Oklahoma State. The New England Patriots are now on the clock.
Wow, I was kind of surprised by that. I thought if they were trading up to 3, they would take a quarterback. Because Arizona doesn't really have a quarterback at the moment.
I think he's just going to roll with Rory Weston.
They signed...
No, man, they got T-Rod.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
They're the quarterback for the next decade.
I actually don't hate Taylor Rodriguez.
I'm not sure.
Sorry about that.
So they traded the Jaguars pick this year. And, yeah, I feel like that was a lot. Actually, no. Since they moved up from so far, that's not actually that much.
No, they moved up essentially from 26.
Yeah, I was thinking
they still have the 7th overall pick, so they have 3, 7, and 17. Is that right?
Yes.
Let's hope they don't Bengals it.
That's pretty crazy.
That is wild.
But the Bills move. I mean, the Bills do get another pick next year, so they are going to roll with Kamau. It's what I actually respect that. I think it's a good decision.
I agree. I think it's a good decision, and they can still get offensive talent around him at 13.
They're going to suck probably this year, but I think it's worth it. They're going to get the Cardinals first. Well, Cardinals first next year might not be so low. Also, is this the first time we ever had 2 players from one school go 1-2? I think it is.
I believe so, yeah.
New England's got like 7 minutes on the clock.
I don't know. It's taking so long. If I were New England, I would have been like running up to the podium.
The problem here is I don't think Foster fits their team very well. Beckham is not really great with Foster. I don't really know what their offensive line situation is off the top of my head.
They have a really good O-line. It's like
the other issue is, and this is actually something I wrote in my little piece that I'm going to publish later at some point. Foster does not use tight ends like very often, and they have probably the best player on their offense is their tight end. So that could be an issue. Foster has like never used tight ends compared to what he does with targets. The shell box is beginning to turn on the Cardinals for this trade.
I mean, Miller is elite. I don't hate the trade. It's surprising to me, but I don't think it's in a bad way.
The rumor is that they're trying to jump over Chicago to prevent Chicago from...
Which makes sense to me, because I feel like Chicago would have taken Miller for sure.
I think now they're going to take Strauss, which I think is a total overdraft. I'm not totally sold on...
Pick is in.
Pick is...
Oh, wait. Miami traded up?
Miami has traded up to number 4 with the Patriots.
Whoa!
With the 4th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select J.C. Weldon, wide receiver, West Virginia. The Bears are now on the clock.
Wow. I mean, the Dolphins have been trying to get a receiver for a while. The Saints have had talks with them about receivers not named Sean Jenkins for off and on for a season and a half.
All right.
Wow.
I could say here, and I talked to Jumbo, actually, of all people, about this like 3 hours ago. I think Weldon is like one of the best receivers to come out of college in a long time. I think he's much better than Luke Cobb.
I think
he's just been absolutely destroying opposition.
I think it's really questionable that New England would let Miami trade up.
Does this surprise you anymore on this website?
I mean, there's not the instinctive hatred that there is in real life. So that New England did it for the number 16 overall pick and Miami's 2022 first round pick.
I think this
So
might
New England trading down because the quarterbacks are, they didn't necessarily care.
We have two official quotes here from the New York Jets staff. Head coach GRE was quoted as saying, "Fuck this fucking game." And Jumbo was quoted as saying, "Why would the Pats let Miami take Weldon?" Also, GRV's rant continues with, quote, "Fuck you, sleuth. Why the fuck would you trade that pick for Miami?" End quote.
So my sources have been telling me that the Jets have been trying to move up. Could they have thought Weldon would fall a little more and that they could take him? I know they've been looking for receiver help as well.
Just to give you an idea, the pick was... Oh, Miami traded number 16 this year and their first rounder for next year for this pick. So
Yeah.
So Patriots and Bills are both rebuild mode. So this is going to be Dolphins-Jets this year, I think, in this division.
That makes sense.
I feel like Weldon might instantly make Miami a contender.
I just don't get why. I mean, the Patriots, it's good for the Patriots, I think, to get 2 first rounders out of it. But why to Miami? I don't. But then I guess you could see that from the other direction too. Why would Miami give the Patriots another first rounder for?
I think from the Miami perspective, they believe they're going to be a playoff team, so it's going to be a late pick anyway.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, if they feel like they feel like Weldon is the missing piece, then that's it's a guy you go get.
In other news, thanks to Rome here, in the 2021 Toilet Bowl watch list, we have Houston plays the Chargers, and Houston also plays New England. And New England plays Buffalo twice, so these are all potentials for worst games of the year. The Bears have 6 minutes left. They're probably freaking
out. As Franz has brought up, Arizona does have a first-round pick next year. They have Seattle's first next year.
Oh my god.
And Seattle is, for some reason, in rebuild mode, it seems like. They've been trading away a lot of pieces, and they signed Zion Adakwa for some reason. Even though they have one of the best linebackers already. So they could be pretty bad next year.
I'm trying to think of like what the Bears do here, and honest to God, I think they should trade it, because like I think Strauss is a total reach for a center at this point. There's just no need when these other people are still on the clock. They don't need a quarterback yet, potentially. The Sela doesn't make any sense. Luke Cobb maybe, but they have a true number 1, so I don't. I honestly don't know what you do here. Do you take DeQuell Moore? Do they need a free safety?
I think they do, actually.
Feels a little high.
It probably is a little high, but I mean, maybe they take one of the defensive ends. I know they do have some good. They have Fazandi and.
They just announced that they're trying to get rid of the pick. They've been apparently. It sounds like they've been trying to get rid of it since Arizona traded up for Beckett Miller. So that was likely the pick.
Yeah, that's
so
likely.
Interesting discussion here. We have a bit of a slide for Foster compared to what everybody thought, even though he was super hyped up from pro days and draft.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know who would pick him now. Like the next, like
it's not for a while, man.
Maybe the Giants. Maybe Buffalo takes him with.
Maybe Arizona takes him at 8. No, they got Taylor, so.
Maybe Buffalo takes him at 13. That would be the steal of the century. Yeah.
That would be pretty crazy. Yeah, that would be cool. Bears got 4 minutes left. Oh yeah, sorry, I haven't updated the on-the-clock image since the Chargers picked. Apparently, I don't know if Kafka's being serious, but are the Broncos trading up with the Bears at the moment? That would be Sela, I think. Or Cobb. Damn, this is crazy. Does nobody want to pick these players? Like, why are so many people trading down?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Jumbo, on the wiki, it's the college for J.C. Weldon is wrong. It says Mountaineers instead of West Virginia. Bears are on 3 minutes time left. I think they're going to use the full time here to try to get rid of him. So after this, there's some teams coming up that we haven't talked about at all, like the Vikings. Vikings are, I think, would be Cobb probably. Although I think their defensive tackle is Jared Lee, so I guess there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Minnesota, they need wide receiver. They need corners, but that's kind of a reach here. They might be a trade down target.
Are both of you guys trying to trade up, or why is it so quiet?
They also need a running back, so DNJ could go to Minnesota.
Isn't that? I think it's the same pick that Chester Henson got picked at. So.
I actually mocked them Miller because I feel like he's more of a fit for them, but
Miller is good for high volume passing offense only, I think.
Excuse me, I had some technical difficulties there for a moment.
And Spiral said, Chicago is wasting my time again. It's just like watching their games.
No, they were just waiting for me to get back. It's okay.
Chicago has 1.5 minutes left.
Yeah, I think they are surprised that Beckett Miller is not there, and they're sort of scrambling a little bit. That's my expectation anyway.
I think a lot of people are surprised so far. 2 trades in the top 4.
It's actually been nothing.
The number 1 pick wasn't one of them.
I think that's a little bit of evidence that the Chargers were had a little higher expectations than they should have.
1 minute left for the Bears. So yeah, every single thought that everybody had for the top 4 is already out the window because it's gone totally different.
Also, this draft broadcast is brought to you by Acme Oyster House and their delicious fried oyster platter, which I'm now eating.
Also, DraftKings, like everything that we do.
Yeah, and my mock actually had Beckett Miller falling all the way to the Eagles, I think.
Oh my god, well that was wrong.
I saw that.
That was before pro days, but I'm actually not.
Oh,
I don't know.
Quote from the Bears general manager: "Let's shock the world." 30 seconds left.
I mean, Leonard Fournette said that right before he committed to LSU. So
Chicago picks Foster.
That would be awful.
They're really not high on.
Picks in. With the 5th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Muhammad Foster, quarterback, West Virginia. The Vikings are now on the clock. Oh boy!
Berkshire, you're done. You're out.
I like it. I actually. Oh, I can't say that yet.
So what the fuck did
after
they
the draft
here now? They've gone full Browns, boys. 2 quarterbacks in 4 years or 5 years.
To be fair, Brookshire is kind of mediocre, so I'm not surprised.
So are we of the opinion
I thought they'd wait till next year, but
was Brookshire in fact made by Ty Miller?
Brookshire just fucking shit his pants watching this at home.
That quarterback class is actually pretty.
Is he gonna get mad?
That quarterback class is bad. Yeah, he's probably gonna get mad, I'm sure.
Well, you better get glad.
That quarterback class is terrible. Like, it's not just the top guys, like the whole class is bad.
Which is interesting because at the time, did we not think that was a really good class?
I didn't. I mean, Brookshire seemed okay. AJ Jefferson, I don't know. He's been a joke.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That was that class. Never mind. For some reason, I was putting Brookshire in the class with Devereaux and Wiegert.
No, Jarius Jones also. I thought he was.
Jones has been. He seems hot and cold to me.
Yeah, I don't understand why he got traded from Seattle. To Seattle. I thought he was pretty good, but I mean, he's not like a all-pro quarterback, but he's like a decent starter. Talking smack about Darman shitting on Mofo for the Heisman.
So we've had in the top 5. You did mention Saluna that you thought that we had a chance at getting like back-to-back players from the same team multiple times. It has happened. Penn State and then West Virginia sandwiched around Beckett Miller.
By the way, Brookshire can't get sad because he's already sad.
Well, there you go. I guess he was expecting this.
Honestly, he's like, if they do part ways with him, cut him, trade him, whatever, he's still good, like good-ish, and somewhat young.
Yeah, he's an 89. I mean, that's not terrible.
I don't understand.
The problem, I feel like, is that they have just tried to force him into throwing 45 times.
Yeah, that's definitely the issue. This is definitely the issue. You can't force somebody to throw 45 times a game just all the time.
Unless they're Devereaux.
Well, Devereaux is basically Drew Brees.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Minnesota still hasn't picked. I wonder if they're in trade talks. I would think they'd be a good team to trade down just based on their needs. Although running back would be my pick here if I were them.
I think it's going to be Luke Cobb.
Denver claiming they're interested in Brookshire.
They need more mediocre quarterbacks.
How many mediocre quarterbacks do they want on that team?
I mean, they traded for a mediocre cornerback earlier, so maybe they just mispronounced it.
Well, they have like 5 mediocre cornerbacks as well. Danger said, "I'll give you a 6th rounder for his Heisman, but you can keep him." To which Chicago Ted responded, "Fuck you."
Is in.
With the 6th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Luke Cobb, wide receiver, Florida State. The Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock.
So they've got Cobb, and then they've got a twin tower. So there's now twin towers in the Twin Cities because they've got Cobb, and then they've got Sonny Beckett. So 2.66 and or 6'5" speed receivers.
Yeah, I'm not going to say much here because I actually don't really particularly like Cobb for a variety of reasons. I'll save that for my dossier that I'm posting at some point later or tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that should be fun to read.
I think he's good, but I don't think he's a number 1 wide receiver. I think he will be a career number 2.
I like Cobb, but again, I still think this is a little too high. I could have seen somewhere around in the middle of the first round. He would have been a good pick. But it is what it is. They like him. He does have. He's got the measurables that you look for, height, weight, speed wise.
Small thing. If this next pick is not a cornerback, that will be the first time ever we do not have a cornerback in the top 7.
Cornerback.
I actually can't believe that Sela is gonna fall. He's either going to the Cardinals here or the Titans. I don't think he's going past these 2.
He's not getting past the Titans no matter what, I don't think. And I could easily see the Cardinals here or the Titans sweating, like sitting there at the phone, palms sweating, praying that the Cardinals don't take him, or on the phone with the Cardinals, seeing if they'd be willing to swap for something small to ensure that they can get their guy. Because I think the Titans really, really, really like Sela.
I agree. I mocked him to Tennessee, and if he does fall to them, that's going to be Sack City, and it's going to be really fucking hard to run on that team.
I mocked him too. I think they just need it because of the Jaguars have soul.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. And Kemp to block for him.
Wow, I've never seen GRV this mad before. The Patriots fucked everything. They've literally changed the landscape of NFLHC because they traded to a division rival.
That's what the Bengals and Browns did a couple years ago, and it's both teams.
Both are terrible, so.
Yeah, I mean, so are the Jets that salty because the Patriots changed things up, or are they that salty because they wanted Weldon and that's who they want to trade up for, or both?
Oh, Jumbo just messaged me. This gets more juicy.
Oh, here we go.
He said,
let's hear it.
The reason they were mad is they had a deal in place with Chicago at 5 to trade up for Weldon, and the Pats gave him away to their division rival and the Jets' division rival, one pick in front. He said,
yeah, I would be pretty salty about that
this
too.
This is the fourth year in a row that they got sniped. And to make it worse, it was by the Patriots to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I guess we're just going to have to settle for a wide receiver down there.
I mean, yeah, the good thing is, as much as they probably liked Weldon, I don't know how they feel about some of the other guys, but there are a lot of wide receiver options. 2 of them are gone, but there's a solid 3 more.
This explains also why the Bears were struggling
first.
when it was their turn, because they had that deal in place, so it fucked them as well.
Pick is in.
With the 7th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Josiah Harden, defensive end, North Carolina. Titans are now on the clock.
I think this was mocked a lot. Several mocks had this. A lot of people will probably think it's really early, but this is a shitty defensive end class. Mm-hmm. They have a huge need there. I think the best defensive end on their roster is like Justin Glass. I'm not surprised by this pick, to be honest.
I think this is kind of a reach, but they have so many picks that I don't really care.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have that many, yeah.
I don't think Harden is necessarily like the greatest defensive end, but...
Yeah, I'm not really high on him. I'm not really high on any of these defensive ends, to be honest. I think they're going to go high just because of scarcity, but...
Yeah, scarcity is definitely an issue. I'm intimately familiar with the scarcity of defensive ends in this league.
So this is Sela then. Like, I'd almost be certain.
Oh, yeah, I'd be shocked if the Titans don't take Sela here. Shocked.
It's either Sela. They could go for running back. Bell has not been very good. And I know they want a tight end, but I don't think they're going to take one here.
You think, running back wise, do you think they would favor DNJ's style or Marshawn Miller over? Because they're pretty different backs.
I think they would take DNJ because they got Wheeler now, and from what I've seen, he doesn't really throw to running backs that much. So
the difference here between the two is Miller is somebody who's built to be a running back in a 40 pass attempt offense, whereas Jackson should be the one running predominantly, like 25 times a game or something. Yeah,
DNJ reminds me a lot of Leonard Fournette, but not as good in the catching passes. Fournette's better at that. All right, good.
Thanks, Sam. I'm eating. With the 8th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Dean Strauss, center, Auburn. Saints are now on the clock.
I totally forgot that their center is a huge need for them as well on offense, and it's so hard to find centers. It's early, but I don't hate it because Strauss is awesome.
This is such an underwhelming pick for what I thought they could do.
Yeah, I mean, center is really hard to get in the draft. You pretty much have to, if you want an elite center, you pretty much have to be picking top 10 these days because there's always only just one or maybe two, and there wouldn't even be one if Strauss didn't early declare in this draft. So I can see why they did it. I think Silo would have been a better pick, but I mean.
All right. Well, next up, Neo's gonna be silent because it's Saints. Loaded Mile doesn't really make any sense because they have Jeremy Miller. Do they? They took. No, they don't have a free safety. This is probably DeQuell.
They really no, I don't think it is. They really like the guy that they have, even though I don't think he's very good.
They have Karen Donahue or whatever, I think.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Harley. Harley is that?
I don't like either of the top ends. I haven't brought this up yet because we haven't had any time, but I think both the upper end inside linebackers are bad. Jamal Harley, I think, is really not good, and I think Holiday is good to let them grow, but he's not good. He won't be good to start with. I think he's a developmental project.
Well, I like Holiday, not Harley. Sorry, I like Holiday for them. Maybe they wait and try and get Clayton in the second. I feel like he's going to go higher than people expect.
I actually think that this is kind of a bad spot for them, to be honest.
I know they have an aging inside linebacker. That's why he's near retirement. Robbie Delaney. I think they also could maybe need an outside linebacker or defensive end. Defensive end is something they've been trying to get for years. So, but they already lost Harden. I'm not sure who would be the next guy. Maybe Carlos Washington.
That seems like an Aaron style reach. Javier Grady is the next best, but I don't know about him either.
I feel like he's
picks in with the 9th overall pick. The New Orleans Saints select Garrett Holiday, inside linebacker, Arizona State. The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
Oh my! I think that might be my third pick that I called correctly.
I called it too, but I don't really like it.
Every person who mocked, except for like one person gave it. I think Franz gave us McQueen. Somebody else gave us McQueen. Rome is like assuming we were going to take a corner and was all about it. I think he said earlier that the biggest lock in the draft is the Saints taking McQueen, maybe because he's a man corner and he's from Louisiana originally, and so he thought that I would jump all over that. But this is real freaking high for McQueen. This is real high for any cornerback. This is we are not a fan of this cornerback class early. So yeah. We have a huge need at inside linebacker. Robbie Delaney was good for us in his prime, but he's he regressed -2, and he turned he's considering retirement. He's gone bad. Holiday may not be necessarily ready to be a star immediately, but he's got potential to grow in the future. And we really need an inside linebacker to kind of set the tone for our defense going forward. So we felt this was a good spot to not necessarily begin the rebuild because we feel like we have some other pieces that can help, but we feel like he can be an impact player for us in that position, and it's a huge need. And we also weren't.
All right, fair enough. I think I had called this in my mock draft too. I think I said Holiday.
Yeah, almost everyone had us taking Holiday, and we originally hated Harden, but defensive end was a big need, so we were like, okay, well we should look at him, and then I think the combine came out, and we were like, okay, well maybe Harden's not that bad, and he was an All-American, and he picked it up in the second half of the year, and so we kind of didn't hate him anymore. And then after that, we sort of started trending down in the last week or so, maybe week and a half, 2 weeks, and kind of looked at it. Holiday was originally our second pick if Harden was gone, and we eventually ended up, I think, 4 days ago, we moved a Holiday to our potential number 1 pick. Sela was a little tempting, but again, we already have Jeremy Miller, so
yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. The
exactly.
interesting thing here is the Buccaneers are up, and they don't need Sela either.
Yeah, they definitely don't have Frank Williams, so they're two of the best DTs.
They were trying to trade Frank Williams, though.
That was a while ago, before they signed him.
Well, otherwise, this is not DeQuell Moore for sure. So this is probably a running back. And I feel the right choice would be Denoris Jackson, because Miller does not fit their offense whatsoever.
I agree. Denoris Jackson's worked with a scrambler in college, so we know he produces in a system where the quarterback runs. And he's a hybrid, but I mean, he doesn't run as much as a scrambler would, but he still runs.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the Bucs are gonna take Javier Grady here.
I agree with Jumbo. It only took 8 drafts, but I think people finally learned not to overdraft corners.
I think the Saints are part of the reason why that is a thing now.
Styles scared them off like a scarecrow.
It is what it is. But to be fair, like this corner, good.
With the 10th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Denoris Jackson, running back, UCF. I like that.
Oh!
That's a good pick for them.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I feel like the Bucs are set now at running back. They've been looking for somebody for a while, and that's going to help their offense immensely.
Yeah, they've been looking for somebody since they traded Marcus for some reason.
How many running backs do they have on the roster? Like 4? Gotta probably cut one or something.
They have a lot of mediocre running backs, yeah.
The Bengals are up. This should be interesting.
They need to replace their. They need a receiver because they need to replace Montgomery, who they lost in
That would be Tyron Chambers.
And I feel like they also need linebackers, but I don't think it's a good spot for any of them here. Not sure. Let me see. Do they have any corners? Yeah, they drafted a corner last year, so they're okay there. They need a free safety. DeQuell Moore could go here because they had Jim Sizemore.
This is the Giants, right?
No, with the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Sela Lodamau, defensive tackle, Hawaii. The Giants are now on the clock.
All right. Well, first, let me get this out of the way. Giants are taking DeQuell Moore. Book it. That's going to happen. I am 100% convinced.
If this is Tyron Chambers, it's a huge mistake.
For the Giants? No way.
What? I'm saying if this is Tyron Chambers, that's a terrible mistake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's an interesting pick for Cincy. Their D-line is pretty ass, to be honest, before, so it makes sense. They had like a 60-year 79 starting on their D-line.
Yeah, this is definitely Is this the best value pick so far? I think so. Sela's legitimately excellent.
With the 12th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select DeQuell Moore, free safety, Florida State. The Bills are now on the clock.
Yeah, that is. That is an obvious pick, I think, even though the Giants have some needs on offense. You can't pass up
Don't they have
DeQuell
Alex
Moore.
Collins? Is he still around?
Who?
Alex Collins, the free safety from the original draft.
Not in New
He
York.
got traded somewhere.
He's not in New
I
York.
feel like he's still like a 90, and nobody ever talks about him.
Yeah, I like the last 2 picks a lot. I think Silas at the Bengals have got to be dancing in the streets. They're going to go get some Skyline chili like immediately to celebrate. The Quell Moore, you could not ask. He's nobody talked about him as much, but he arguably had as good of a off season as you could as far as draft stock. I would not have been slightly surprised to see him go in the top 10, even though I expected this to be the pick. I expected him to make it to the Giants.
A bunch of people are now wanting to trade back. Chiefs, Bills, somebody else, they're all trying to move out. Possibly into next year's draft.
Interesting. I feel like most of the elite prospects are taken now. Like, there's still a couple receivers and I feel like no one's taken a corner yet is the most surprising thing, even though I don't think they should have.
You thought somebody would jump on. Oh, the Broncos are maybe the only team trying to move up. So if you were trying to move down, get on up there.
The Broncos have been trying to move up the entire draft, so I don't know what exactly they're trying to do.
Well,
I thought Franz wasn't going to be here today. But whatever.
I think we're pretty close to reaching barren wasteland for first rounders here. We're like slowly progressing into people that I don't even have a first round grade on. I have 6 more first rounders.
Well, if I'm Buffalo here, I probably go for either Chambers or another receiver if they like somebody else. Or I pick up a corner because their cornerbacks are pretty fucking ass. And they have to play Brian Brown, and now they have to face fucking J.C. Weldon on that team. Plus Uyghur is good too. They really need some help at the corner position.
Falcons are trying to trade down from 19.
Falcons were trying to trade up, I think, for Mofo, or I'm not really sure what was going on there. They were trying to trade up. Now they're trying to trade out. We had 3 or 4 offers when we were on the board. I'm guessing for Sela. Now that he's gone, a lot of those teams are trying to move out.
It looks like over half of the next 10 teams are trying to move down. Saints are trying to move back into the first with all their next picks.
We do have some ammunition.
Packers are trying to move up as well. I don't know what Buffalo does, honestly. I don't really like anything at this point. They have Dest, so they don't need Miller. They don't really need a defensive tackle. Outside linebacker, they have Hernandez. Tyron Chambers, I don't really like. Sean Taylor, I don't really like.
If I were them, I'd go for McQueen. I feel like he's one of the only corners.
I still think this is high for McQueen.
They might have to, though.
It's a reach, but they also probably need a strong safety because Ian Badejo is getting old.
Browns are trying to trade back to a time where the Bengals didn't get Sela.
Yeah, the Browns, like always, every year they pick an elite defensive tackle and then hope he falls to them, and it never happens. I mean, I know Dean just kind of lost it when we drafted Miller. And I know he's had other ones that he's been interested in. I guess I don't blame him. Seal was pretty great, but I don't think he was ever going to make it to 15. That just was not going to happen. They would have had to trade up into the top 10.
I honestly can't believe he fell as far as he did. I think he's like one of the best players to come out of the draft in a while.
He is the best defensive. I think he's the highest rated defensive tackle we've had since Miller came out.
No, Okonkwo last year was also an 82, I
I
think.
didn't really like it.
I think we had a Conqueror lower than Sela.
Yeah, I think I actually, in my little analysis thing, I think Sela was, other than easily, probably the best player this year. Like, raw talent.
I could see that. We had him top 3.
I made multiple offers to move up to get him, but nobody wanted to move down to 31.
Sorry, bro. It's just too far.
Super Bowl loser problems.
Well, don't be a loser.
It's even worse if you're the winner in that case. But
Don't be Jumbo.
At least if you're the winner, you have that nice trophy to cry into.
I mean, if you're the winner, you won, so that's the whole point of the game.
No, the whole point of the game is to win the draft. So and to win the meme wars.
Buffalo's about to run out of time.
people, by the way, I know some of you guys don't like Okonkwo, and he didn't really put up many stats this year, but look at how much improved the defensive ends on Seattle did this year when they added him.
I mean, by all means, I don't hate Okonkwo. Like, I'm not saying I just have like if I'm sitting there and ranking like the top 10 whatever defensive tackles to come out in the history of since we've been drafting, like I would have I just have Okonkwo like a spot or two below. Yeah, where are the Hawaii players? We need to. We're actually planning a trip out to Denver, and we're gonna amass.
Thanks, with the 13th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Sean Taylor, cornerback, Western Michigan.
Whoa!
I think
Yikes!
Not a good pick at all.
I do not like that.
I think this guy's very similar to Aaron Styles, where I think it's going to be 2 to 3 years before you get any returns out of this. I don't think you should be moving him beyond third cornerback for quite some time.
He's really short too. I can't trust 5'9" corners on the outside.
That's a problem too.
Because he's got nice weight to him, so he maybe he can press, but he's so short.
This might be one of the worst picks of the draft so far, honestly. I don't really like it.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan.
This is the first person that I had a second round grade on to go in the first.
Yeah, points to Dean here. He predicted this yesterday, and also claimed that he thought Sean Taylor was pretty similar to Aaron Styles.
It's very similar, I think.
I wonder if they're regretting trading down now.
I mean, they need a corner. I mean, they could have probably taken Taylor at 26, though.
I don't know about that. I think somebody would have reached on him by.
I mean, yeah, but I guess if you have Taylor that high over the other corners, but I don't think he's that different from them.
Buccaneers are trying to move up to the active pick.
That would be quite a haul for KC if they do, because they already used their first.
Bills were apparently trying to get trade back, but nobody wanted.
I mean, I can definitely see that being the thing. Isn't that Houston's pick too? There's a curse there.
Yeah.
I think that was just a really shitty spot to end up. It seems like 12 exhausted the top tier, and now we're in like a bunch of murky water.
Yeah, you did see all the sort of quote unquote elite guys kind of disappear. Down here, I'm not loving this sort of no man's land here. And
honestly, this is rough right now. I think like the next 5 or 6 picks are all going to be quite terrible.
I think KC is going to take a wide receiver.
I don't like Chambers. Oh man, I don't know.
It could be. It doesn't have to be Chambers. I mean, there's other guys. I like Black and Harris.
The problem with Black is that he did not have a good year.
Yeah, we're kind of. I mean, I'm kind of high on Black myself. He didn't have a great year, but everything about him looks so good.
That meme
the thing is, I could
relevant right now for the Bills.
Oh yeah, I could see. Well, I mean, I don't think they loved picking Taylor there. They were obviously trying to trade back, so I don't think they were really excited about that one.
Yellow Evan says he likes Sean Taylor. So
I mean, it's not a crime.
if you want the kiss of death, there it is.
Wrecked. Yeah, I can see. I think a run on wide receivers is about to happen because
Casey's definitely trying to trade this. By the way, he's like actively talking everywhere to try to get rid of it.
I mean, it's Enmise, so
That's true.
So thoughts on? You mentioned that we don't feel like a lot of the top guys are left there. There's one guy left that I feel like is among the elite in this draft that has yet to be taken, and that is Caleb McNamara, the outside linebacker from Vanderbilt.
I think there's. I have 5 more people with first round grades, but I think 3 of them are like 20s type players.
So pretty much every mock has put Kansas City's obviously trying to trade out of this spot. Pretty much every mock, to my knowledge, put McNamara at 15 to the Browns. However, the Browns obviously were very interested in Sela. I'm not sure if they're one of the teams trying to trade down right now. I can see it. Do we think McNamara goes to the Browns? If he doesn't, how far does he fall?
No,
I think the thing about McNamara is he's like a 4-3 weak side outside linebacker. He's not really a 3-4 guy. He's not that versatile. He's good. I think he's excellent at what he does, but he's sort of system limited in my mind.
I don't think he falls very far though. I think somebody will trade up. But yeah, I do agree with the player analysis. I think that's probably about spot on.
I feel like Arizona might take him there if he falls past Cleveland and New England.
That would be a great pick, and so I could definitely see Randy doing it.
He does have the personal conduct thing, though, right?
Yeah, that is the negative on him. Outside of that, though, he's got a pretty. Outside of that, and I mean, he's not a guy that puts up a ton of stats, but I feel like he just makes your defense better without, putting up the eye-popping obvious numbers. If we had been running a 4-3 instead of a 3-4, I would have pushed real hard for us to take McNamara at 9 because I like him a lot.
There's a bunch of interesting teams actually coming up because we got the Patriots and the Steelers, Falcons.
I think the Falcons are trying to trade back. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
The Steelers, I feel like with a right pick, could improve their team pretty dramatically.
Steelers need corners and wide receivers. A lot of teams here need corners and wide receivers. It's like pretty not like deep position in the league right now.
Chiefs have 2.5 minutes left, so this is
Chiefs are gonna have to take somebody.
We're about halfway through the draft. We are on pace for the quickest first round ever set last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say last year was really, really fast.
Last year was crazy fast. It was 2 hours.
We're popping. We may finish early enough for me to watch a couple more episodes of Stranger Things season 2.
Chiefs got 2 minutes left. Panther claims that the Steelers do not need wide receivers.
Okay, Samuel Jolly, really good. Anthony McCardell, not good.
I don't even know who those people are.
Austin Medina, not good.
That sounds like the Chiefs. It's like all like number 2 wide receiver.
Anthony McCardell is unhappy as well, and he's like their number 1.
Chiefs got 100-something seconds left.
Yeah, Netflix is also a sponsor of the draft broadcast, so we did need to mention that.
If you're not using an ad blocker while watching stuff on YouTube, it's your fault.
Yeah, if you don't have ad block on, it's not our fault.
Chiefs got 90 seconds left.
Steelers traded McCardell.
To where?
I'm not sure.
Well, they signed Charlie Paul, but that's another number 2 receiver, so it doesn't really resolve anything.
With Austin Medina, the number 4 receiver.
It's all like mediocre second receivers.
It can be difficult to find a number 1. I will say.
Chiefs have less than a minute.
Sean Jenkins,
GOAT. I mean, we have a number 1 receiver and then a bunch of number 3 receivers, and it works out for us because Sean Jenkins is a god.
Real life college football flash, just because everybody will enjoy this. Florida State's currently losing to Boston College by 2 touchdowns.
Jimbo should have come to LSU.
I think the pick is in. Yeah.
Yep, pick is in. With the 14th overall pick, With the 14th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, Kansas City Chiefs select Andrew Boyd, cornerback, Boston College. The Browns are not.
Whoa! That is the biggest reach of the class.
I had this guy at 35.
That's a reach. I mean, I know why they did it. Corner's a huge weakness. They traded us George Brady, immediately regretted it. They even tried to trade for him back. But, oh my goodness.
Did that really happen?
Yes. They wanted him back. They did. But, geez. I don't love that. I don't. I mean, I have Boyd as a second rounder firmly. I thought we would have a chance at him with our second round pick.
I was actually thinking about taking him maybe with my... I was like, maybe with my second pick I can grab him.
Yeah, well, we were thinking about him at 40.
I don't know. It is obviously a reach, but I feel like he's a late first rounder. His career stats are pretty good, and I mean, KC, they need a corner. They're playing in a division with a lot of passing offenses, so it kind of makes sense. He's going to be number 2 for them most likely, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's just, I don't. Again, I felt like there was a better corner out there.
I feel like the 2 corners that were taken first are the 2 I liked less.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So that's a bit of an issue for me. I think McQueen was clearly the best. And
yeah, I had McQueen in front of both of these guys for sure.
They're both the ones that got taken, but I think Cordell McKinnon's better too.
I would have taken
Cleveland's in.
McNamara.
With the 15th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Caleb McNamara, outside linebacker, Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that's the most obvious pick. Other than us, the 2 obvious picks that everyone mocked were Holiday to us and McNamara to the Browns, and I think it's a good pick. Honestly, it's obvious, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. Good job, Cleveland. That's a fantastic pick in my mind. I think he instantly makes your defense better. He's a cover guy. He's going to help you out against tight ends. I really like McNamara a lot. He's my favorite. He's the best prospect to come out of Vanderbilt since Pennington.
There's currently a rumor going around that Lions general manager Slinky Jr. is furiously masturbating to the text line of Cordell McKinnon.
Yeah, I mean, Slinky wants every Michigan State defensive back. He's pretty open about that. His Twitter feed is pretty graphic. It's not suited for young minds.
We got the Patriots coming up here. This was the original Dolphins pick.
Yeah, I would agree, Dean. You did in fact crush that pick. Now you go do you, brother. All right.
Remember that time that he took an outside linebacker that would have fixed his defense, but then traded him away for no reason?
I still don't understand how that happened, and I was still trying to organize an offer to get the linebacker when he just traded him before I could even send the thing. I was so salty. I would have been all about that.
Remember that time I stole Rodney Montgomery from you?
I hate you so goddamn much. So.
Wow, you've gotten fucked almost as much as Jumbo.
Yeah, I have. I've been bitching about it as much or more too. Mine just goes back further.
This is still like no man's land, and the Patriots are up.
Yeah, McNamara is one of the last guys I think is top end.
Ooh, this is rough. Like Tyron Chambers, I don't. Nah. Miller's
I really feel bad for New England here, but they did trade down to this spot, so.
God, this draft class really is ass. Like, even with the early declarations, this is pretty terrible. Maybe Kevin Gray, the offensive tackle?
That would be a good pick if they have. They've been trying to trade an offensive tackle, and Gray, I do like Gray a lot. I think I have him as the second tackle behind Miller. I can see that being good.
I don't really know what they do here. I don't really know what anybody trades up for either. Jumbo says New England deserves to get fucked, idiots.
Yeah, I'm really not 100% sure what the Patriots do here. Gray would be the safest pick you could get. It's not a huge need for them. I mean, they've been trying to trade, I think, Ty Burns. I think. Hopefully I'm not misremembering where he is. I think it's Ty Burns they're trying to trade.
They've been trying to Ty Burns for like 3 years.
Yeah, but I think they might just. I mean, they'll be able to replace him if they. That's everybody's hype pick. People. So we've got the New England general manager has literally come out on social media and said that he's not 100% sure what they're going to do here either. Can he be worse than Styles? Yeah, I mean, Boyd could potentially be worse than the Styles. He could also be better, either way. I would agree with that. I mean, I like Boyd's taller than Sean Taylor. He's lighter, but he's taller. He produced. I mean, he produced a lot against better competition, which is nice. Yeah, well, there you go.
I think this could be Javier Grady or Carlos Washington.
I think it's early for Washington. I could see Grady maybe. There's going to be a wide receiver run, though.
What I find interesting is that it kind of looks like the Colts might be able to get Marshawn Miller. But don't sleep on Philly. Don't sleep on Philly taking him.
How fast was he? If he didn't run like a 4.3, I'm not sure the 49ers were going to be interested.
Miller ran a 4.38.
Well, 49ers are probably already on the phone with him. Yeah, draft board just lined up by 40 times. I mean, that's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, Kansas City says they had Boyd higher on the board than Taylor, so when Taylor was drafted and they didn't have a lot of options, they went to him. I can respect that. I mean, we've done that before. It is what it is. At that point, again, we're in sort of a no man's land right here. So I didn't love the pick, but it's hard to hate on it too much considering the supply here is not great. I think this sort of levels out in the second round. When you get to the second round, the value sort of comes back a little bit. I think while there's not a lot of first round talent here, I think there's a decent amount of second and maybe third round talent.
I think Trickett has a chance to go in the second, but I feel like he's going to go in the third. And he's probably the next one, I think.
I'd be
Even
shocked.
though he's not the highest rated, I think he's the best of the available.
I don't look. I love Smackums. I am. This could be Miller. That's not bad. It's about to be Marshawn Miller.
Troy White.
I will say, Miller is a little. I kind of look at Miller as he is a higher end, or he's much heavier than the running back that Alan Taylor worked with in New Orleans for several years. I look at them as sort of similar, and so I think they could maybe have a little bit of synergy. So I kind of like that. Kevin Richards, yeah. His last name is just slipping my mind because I'm too busy thinking about beer because of Smackums. And can you taste the Colts' tears, or do you think they're okay? Yeah, the good running backs are gone.
Yeah, I'm not. I agree with someone that's not the greatest fit for their team, but he's a great player, so I think he'll still be pretty good.
Yeah, I think third down, he's fantastic.
My mic has apparently been muted for 20 minutes. Whoops. It was Marshawn Miller.
Yeah, we heard you.
Well, they didn't. Fortunately, fortunately, there's only been like 2 picks in the last 20 minutes, so. Cardinals here. This is their middle pick of their 3. Oh, wait, they don't. Never mind. They don't have. This is their last one. They've already had 2. So their first picks were Beckett Miller. No, they've had 1. No, 2. Beckett Miller and Josiah Harden. So 1 O lineman, 1 D lineman. So I think this is a skill position player.
Nice symmetry there.
Tyron? I don't really like. I think this should be Noah Hills.
Yeah, they don't really have a tight end, but they haven't really. I'm not sure. Tyrod. What is it? Taylor Rodriguez is much of a tight end thrower.
True.
He liked the tight ends in college, but not. I mean, he's not Skaggs. He's not going to like feed the tight end consistently. But he'll spread the ball around and he will include the tight end, but he's not necessarily going to make it a focus. I think you need to get him some like wide receivers that you can get out in space.
Well, they picked up that Tennessee wide receiver last year. He was okay.
Eli Austin, right? Yeah, I liked him.
He had some drops, but I mean, they didn't really have a great quarterback this year, so hopefully they can improve that. I don't know who their other receivers are off the top of my head.
by the way, this would be a good time because most people are probably on for the first round. The first preseason game will likely be in 2 weeks. So we got a quick turnaround time, and then
I thought you said 3 because of the
oh yeah, it's Halloween or something, or
training camp stuff.
oh yeah. Okay, it's probably going to be in 3 weeks. It might still be in 2. I have to look at it. 3 is probably more likely. But CFBHC will begin with the first regular season NFL week. So the 5th week of NHL or NFLHC. Just so you know. So if we start, depending on whether we start 2 or 3 weeks from now. Oh, the reason I want to start 2 weeks from now is then the first week 1 will be birthday in sight.
All right. So for Smackums and for anyone else who wants to track my beer selection for like the 3rd year in a row, I am drinking Second Line Brewery's Saison named Desire, obviously named after the Tennessee Williams work, A Streetcar Named Desire. It's very local. It's made with satsumas and it's delicious.
I am consuming a fine vintage Domino's large pizza.
That's good shit right there.
Produced 1 hour and 50 minutes ago.
Oh, that was a good year.
Titans moving up. Chiefs want to move up. Ravens want to move up. I think the no man's land is starting to end, and now there's value.
There is a pick in.
The Cardinal, with the 17th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals have selected Noah Hills, tight end, Kansas. The Steelers are now on the clock. Was that one of the things? Was that because I said it?
I mean, maybe, but I did have him as the number 1 overall tight end.
Yeah, I like it, but I mean, I still feel like it's a little bit of a reach. But I mean, they had 3 picks, so they got 3 82s.
Apparently, we've got one Storm Stopper wanting to come in for an interview, but he's not on Discord. So once Storm Stopper arrives, we will be bringing in the Bears general manager.
At 9:20 in Discord, Titans looking to trade back into the first round. At 9:20 in Discord, Titans no longer looking to trade back in the first round.
I guess we know who they wanted. So interesting enough, Arizona. How are we grading their first round? They've taken 3 different players, all 82 overall. The top tight end, and the top defensive end, and the top offensive tackle, or the top offensive lineman, really.
The only thing I can say for the one thing that I don't like is that they feel very low impact for 3 picks, but I guess that might be the way to build a team. Tight end's kind of situational. I don't really like Josiah Harden that much. Like, I think he's probably all right, but he's not. I don't know. He seems all right. And then the other one's a tackle, which is like, everybody knows.
Storm is in the channel now. You can move on.
I know.
Hello. We had quite a surprise there with your pick. Muhammad Boss.
His mic is muted.
Oh, he's got the same issue that I had.
I think it's something about moving people into.
You have to unmute him yourself.
Yeah, certain people in this channel aren't allowed to talk, I think. Because I think I made it so that only certain people are.
It has to be like an admin for the server, maybe.
Oh yeah, that must be the channel. All right, you can talk now.
Or not.
Steelers are on the clock, by the way.
Okay, once we get Bears owner / GM Storm Stopper back in here, we can talk to him about his pick. In the meantime, what do you think the Steelers are going to go here?
Well, they say they don't need a receiver, so I would guess corner.
Oh, I just realized after Smackham said it in the shout box that he's Weldon's college and NFL coach. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I guess he knows how to use him.
That makes it even more scary.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen that sort of thing happen a little more often.
It happens.
I feel you have an intimate knowledge of the play.
I think it tends to happen more in the middle rounds when you don't really know what to take. People like Alien does it a lot. I know I've done it several times. Take people that you've coached.
I've done it once because I've only ever had one player drafted.
Never mind. I know people do it. Like,
I took some players that were mine that were undrafted free agents, but
Jumbo at one point might as well have been me because he just took Penn State players every year. Pittsburgh's got 6.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can.
yeah. All right, so tell us about your thinking with the Foster pick.
I forgot to put my headphones in. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes.
Awesome.
Tell us what you were thinking with the Foster pick. Seems like the biggest surprise so far.
Well, I mean, we coming into this draft, we had a list of 5 players that we felt we'd be comfortable taking at number 5, but only 3 of them that we felt would be. No, only 2 of them that. No, yeah, 3 of. Whatever, some amount of them that we only. That we particularly wanted at number 5. So I think it's obvious by now. I tried not to say anything about it, but Beckett Miller was definitely our number 1 target. But at the same time, we were very intrigued by both of the top 2 quarterbacks in the draft. We knew that this was going to be an opportunity to draft a quarterback that we don't know when the next time would arrive, and we really liked Bowman and Foster. So we were very, very comfortable taking Foster with this pick, and we expect him to be the future of the franchise.
Rip Norris.
So what does this mean for Brookshire? Do you think he's going to start still this year, or it's going to be a competition in the preseason, or what?
Well, we definitely expect Norris to be competing for the starting job at this point in time. I mean, in the end, just because we drafted a player, we treat it as a sunk cost. If someone, or whoever the better player is for the franchise, when week 1 rolls around, is going to get the start. So just because we're paying Brookshire his option contract, or just because we're paying Foster for his rookie contract, neither of those is going to be a factor in who starts. It's just going to be who the best player is on the field. But I mean, I'm not going to get so deep into GM speak to act as if this means that Brookshire is going to be a long-term option here.
Interesting. It's interesting because it's a totally different offense that you would run for Foster than Brookshire. Brookshire is like completely a statue, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it essentially you go with one or the other thing because one can't back up the other. So
yeah,
we're aware of that. I mean, we have been in preliminary discussions with other teams. We're not necessarily rushing to make a deal, but if the right one appears, we'll take it. I'm not going to name which teams we've been talking with. It's been more than one. But yeah, we also think we have the personnel around either quarterback that we think we can make something out of it. I mean, look at what Foster did at West Virginia. We've got guys who can take full advantage of his big arm. David Gaines, Brandon Sneed. We added some speed to our receiver core. So
sorry to interrupt, but picks in so I can get this really quick. With the 18th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Carlos Washington, defensive end, Michigan. The Falcons are now on the clock. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, we loved his arm. That's we believe that with our receivers, and I mean we have a lot of them. We have what can take full advantage of that. Now we also have to build up our offensive line. We have to keep building up on our defense, make sure that our front seven has more than adequate help in the defensive backfield. So we've got a lot more work to do, but we're really excited about what we have now.
All right. Anything else you want to add, or?
Let's see. I want to add that do not let that ugly logo on the left side of the screen distract you from the fact that the Bears did beat the Packers and sacked Jason Johnson 5 times and intercepted him 3 times last season.
Which is why you were picking in the top 10.
Exactly. You got to take the victories where you can get them, right?
Well, you don't take very many of them, so that's probably true.
Ooh.
Quote, quote in Spiral, "Go Pack, go!" All caps. We've got
offers for a straight up second rounder for a first rounder.
Have we approached the time in this draft where
Kevin McQueen, like 100%, it's gonna be McQueen.
Have we gotten to the point here where the Patriots have literally turned their like top 5 pick into garbage? Is this like Browns level shit? I guess they did get a first next year. They're coming up again in the next pick, and there's like nothing again that they can use. Analytics. Why is it so quiet? Talk, people.
Well, I think the Falcons, they need a second corner. They've needed a second corner for a long ass time, and they're in a good position to get one right now. They like man corners, so I expect this to be McQueen. If it's not McQueen, I honestly don't know what they take. Maybe a tackle, or I know they need a center, but they're not going to get one here. Maybe they need. I'm not sure what their guards are like.
I don't really know what else. Who's the best guard? It's
guard is pretty thin. It's LaMichael Harley. He's an 80, and then he's the only 80 guard. Although there are some hybrids in the tackle section, like Justin Way or Jackson Gibson.
Yeah, those. I should point out here. This is somewhat major, but I think I've mentioned it before. But like those like hybrid players who started out as athletes or whatever, the longer they'll play in one position in the NFL, the more they'll dedicate themselves to that position. Like if you play Beckett Miller as a tackle for 10 years, he's not going to be a guard anymore. Falcons got 6 minutes.
Freaking in Spiral's computer might crash because he's going to send a text message.
How does that even make any sense?
Honestly, like, I feel like Tyron Chambers at this point is kind of value.
I really don't like him, so not for me. Until I pick him in the second round.
Exactly, that's how it always works.
Except I don't usually shit on the people I draft. I just don't talk about them.
Yeah.
I don't know. You shit on somebody and then took him, but I think it was like a round later though, so it was value.
Who was it?
Jay Wade.
Oh, I didn't really shit on him. I just said it was like I don't even remember. It wasn't like directly shitting on him. It was like I think I said something like he shouldn't be a first round pick, which was true.
That was true. Yeah, I don't know, like the Shoutbox made it. I think that was a year I was not on the broadcast. The Shoutbox made like a huge deal out of what you said. I remember the uproar, and then when you took him, it all came back.
I don't remember exactly what I said, but I definitely didn't. If it sounded like I shit on him, I didn't mean to. I definitely think he shouldn't have been a first round pick, which I stand by. The only time I've shit on a player that I've taken in some degree was Laurent Christensen because I feel like I overdrafted him. I still feel like I overdrafted him. Falcons are taking their sweet ass time.
Today, Junior.
I think the Falcons are probably considering some trade options.
I feel like at this point, Baltimore is a likely place for Chambers. I thought way more receivers would have gone by now, but I don't really see New England, Denver, Indy.
There might only be one more in the whole first round. Well, I know you want one.
I have a lot of things that I want, but wide receiver is not my number one target. I can tell you that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was getting a drink. 2 minutes left for the Falcons. They were trying to trade this like as recent as 15 minutes ago, so
He should be here.
Apparently, Pittsburgh said 4 teams were trying to trade to his spot, so there's probably a lot of trade talk for this one too.
Sageville says trades are not working on the interface.
I think he's just saying.
I think he's got to be memeing. He's not. Yeah, he's memeing.
He's not even like in the NFL.
He's not attached to anyone, and there's the emotes.
Fire is like top 3 just to
the that is a fantastic emote. That was one of the better additions to the site.
And Spiral, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm hearing from a couple of GMs that have messaged me. Okay, there's a trade. I'm hearing there's a trade. Another GM was talking to the Falcons and asking me my opinion, and they have apparently the Falcons cut off negotiations because they have a trade. That's what I'm hearing.
Could this be the Chargers? Because Pump just posted that he's trying to move a wide receiver.
The Chargers? Yeah. Oh, so I think the pick happened while Stormstopper was on talking about the Bears. But did we talk about Carlos Washington to the Steelers? Yeah, I'm hearing 49ers. They better make their pick. I wonder who they're after. Could they be taking the Queen?
Cutting it awfully close.
Better get it in there, 49ers. Come on, Santa Clara. Get that words per minute up. Need to draft faster secretaries. Oh, that would make sense. Did he run a fast 40? Well, Patriots, you better get that in there. Pats can take advantage. I still don't know if the Patriots are going to know what they want here. I mean, they could take Grady. They could definitely take Grady here. That would screw the 49ers. And the Patriots need a defensive end. No comment.
Oh, I'm muted again. God damn it.
I just said that.
It auto mutes for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, I don't know what the hell is going on anymore now. So the Saints are trying to trade up to the Patriots. Falcons are completely fucked up. Apparently the 49ers are not trading anymore? Nobody's confirming the trade. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Laser Cat says draft password's not working. Okay. Trade won't go through in the interface.
Trades are not working on the interface. Trades are not working on the interface.
Everybody fire, fire, fire.
Can we get a fire, fire, fire wave going, please?
Are you sure that you're doing it right? You have to put in the username and then the password.
Username's your team's initials. Oh my god, there's gonna be like 4 teams on the clock in a second. It's like a traffic jam.
If you're having trouble with the password, PM me on Discord. I can try and fix it.
Solid fire wave, boys.
Laser Cat says she was trying to make the pick and she got an error, so. And ATL has not confirmed.
San Francisco has confirmed. Atlanta has not.
Oh, okay. So Atlanta's thing was working.
San Francisco. Oh, Atlanta has confirmed. So San Francisco is now on the clock, along with the Patriots.
Better be quick on that pick.
Patriots have actually had like 4 minutes and haven't done anything. So
I think the Patriots are trying to trade.
Did they trade twice already, or
they traded like 3 times, I think.
Oh no, they traded once with Miami. Miami was like.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bills have traded twice. Holy shit! San Francisco still has not picked. They've now been on the clock for picks in. With the 19th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Brandon Thomas, outside linebacker, Bowling Green. The Patriots are now on the clock.
Yeah, I kind of like him. He's a pretty good player who was on a terrible team.
Quote of the year from Inspiral. All caps. Wow, it magically fixed itself? Are we running fucking Skynet over here?
Okay, so Lasercat says they gave up a 5th. Brandon Thomas. Brandon Thomas is a guy, like, I like him as, like, the second, like, if you have a 3-4 outside line, like, if you have a 3-4 defense and you've got, like, the pass rushing monster on one side, like, if you've got your Shane Easley, your Austin Olsen, those guys, you want on your other side, you want a more versatile outside linebacker, at least that's how I see it. I see Brandon Thomas as that more versatile outside linebacker in 3-4.
I think Brandon Thomas is okay, and I was trying for a little while I tried thinking about trading up to get him, but I think the lack of experience might be kind of a problem. He hasn't played anybody. I don't know. There's potential for him to be good, but I don't know where it's gonna go. Also, didn't they just draft a linebacker, outside linebacker, like 2 years ago?
Yeah, but then they traded him for McGill.
That's right.
Hard to be mad about that one. McGill's pretty good.
But yeah, I wrote his pro day and I was looking up his stats and stuff, and he has some pretty good stats, but he's playing in the MAC again on one of the worst teams.
Oh.
He He only had 8 wins in his 4 years, or was he only 3? He early declared, so he had 3 years. He
By
had
the way,
8 wins.
the Patriots did have one more
years.
trade than what you said. They traded back with Philly,
Oh yeah.
and Ace Wolf apparently hates this draft more than anything. What is New England like asleep? Imposter's having a stroke in like 4 different chats, so it's something with the Saints.
No comment.
What do you guys want?
It's not really.
Comment, please.
It's not that hard to figure.
Please send information, please.
It's the kicker out of Montana.
At this point, I think they gotta take somebody, right?
Only 8 wins in 4 years. He should play in the AFC North.
Yeah, it was 3 years, but yeah. He's an early declaration. He got tired of losing, so he's on San Francisco now. So
I would too, to be honest.
He probably won't be losing very much.
So they gave up a first and a fifth, but the trade only. Oh no, the trade was. Yeah, the trade only says a first. So you might need to rectify this on the interface. You guys confirmed something that's not correct. Rams taking Jack Kirshner. After they said they don't value kickers.
Who signed their kicker?
Arizona.
Oh yeah, Arizona has that freaking elite ass special teams now. They've been Tampa Bay.
And me.
Yeah, your punter isn't as good as those
My
guys.
punter's a 95 or something, or 94. Like a 48 average.
I think they both have 99 punters, so.
Hell. I'm the Jaguars. Patriots got 2 minutes. Alright, this is a spectacular waste of time, whatever's going on here. Just after this, we have the Broncos, the Colts, the Falcons, the Lions, the Ravens, the Bills again, and then it gets interesting with a bunch of teams we've never talked about, including the Cowboys, Rams, Jets, Raiders. Kafka's asking about Falcons information, so they're trying to trade up again. One minute left for the Patriots.
There has been a lot of trades though in the first round this year, more than usual. I feel like, and it's actually the draft has slowed down a lot since the first 10 picks.
I mean, I think everything was pretty clear early, and now it's basically after number 12, it got real murky. Shoutbox question: What were the toppings on your pizza, Selena? Goddamn right.
Well, Noah's got 20 seconds left, and
I'm both surprised and not surprised that Kevin Gray hasn't been drafted.
oh, there's a Detroit trade that hasn't been confirmed yet with New England.
Okay,
They're
that's
trading 24 and a fifth.
there is going to be a wide receiver run at some point. I guess people are trying to hurry up and jump in there and hope that they get pushed down. But
You gotta fix your mics, Luna.
Again? Why is it like picking up? Like it was fine for a while and then it just... I don't understand why this does this. I could set it to always open to fix it, but I don't... That sounds like a terrible idea.
Detroit jumping up to try to get McKinnon.
Picks in. With the 20th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Kevin McQueen, cornerback, UCF. The Denver Broncos are now on the clock.
Son of a bitch.
Is that what you wanted?
That is who I
He
want.
is gonna kill himself, maybe? They drafted a man corner? What the hell?
This is a weird draft.
I mean, look, credit to Imposter and I think Ace Wolf, who mocked that. They mocked that pick. I think one other mock had it too. Yeah, we like McQueen a lot. We've been trying to like get up back on board for him. We were trying to get in there with. He's a Louisiana native, and he's also a great fit. We thought in our defense, but yeah, I'm gonna just throw that out there as many times as I can. But yeah, I'm a little sad. I'm not putting a brick through my television, but I'm a little sad. Yet.
I would like to get a interview with Sleuth the Bears to see what the hell they're thinking, but I want to hear their reasoning for trading with Miami and then trading down twice again.
I mean, I'm sure it's basically that they just didn't know what to do. I mean, they were like, let's kick the can down the road and pick something up for it.
And they also passed on Foster, which I don't know what they're doing at quarterback. But
They might just not like scramblers. He also said that he's interested in. They will probably be making a pick at 24 instead of trading down a third time. And yeah, Imposter, if you could get
Denver
me
pick is
an
in.
order of 3 of those talking.
so did I. I mean, he's like an FCS player, so we don't know if he's going to be good. Well, his pro day was like really good, but his like grade wasn't. So I don't know if it's like one of them misleading. One of them might be misleading.
I don't need a fucking microphone. My microphone's good. It's the OBS software that auto mutes me for some reason. I'm gonna look this up online really quick. There must be a way to fix this.
Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. I really have no idea what they're going to take here. They can't really pick a running back. Maybe an inside linebacker. Maybe some O-line.
Kevin Gray, do they need tackles? They're not going to take a receiver, I can tell you that.
Yeah, they definitely don't need a receiver.
No, they're pretty set there.
Wait, the Lions gave up 2/5 for this move up.
Yeah, 2022 fifth.
Wait, what's 135? This year's 4th, I think.
Yeah, that's a 4th round.
No, never mind. It's a 5th rounder.
It is? Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, right.
It depends on the number of picks in front.
No, it probably. I think it's an early fifth.
Oh, apparently it was their pick to begin with. It was the Patriots pick originally. So they got it back from the Lions from something.
Yeah, they kind of need an outside linebacker. Is there anyone still good left?
Apparently, this Tennessee State player went before any Tennessee players.
Yeah, the Colts don't need O-line at all. Like, they're really good on the whole line, so that's not really an option.
They're trying to trade Quentin Smith,
this is
so
a
maybe
super mystery.
Hudson Adam.
Brady Christensen is like the last. Oh wait, they have Nathaniel Jeffries as well. That's another tennis. That's another. Oh, I don't like that guy at all. Never mind. Yeah, Brady Christensen maybe could go here. I kind of need outside linebackers. They also have a corner who's considering retirement.
Oh God, man, there's a player I totally forgotten about. West Virginia's defensive tackle Hudson Adam.
Yeah, he's just like totally ignored. Now that we're talking about him, I'm gonna get picked, but
yeah, probably. But I think I'm sitting here looking down like I have a list of guys and I have all these names scratched out. I didn't even realize like he's the highest rated guy I have left.
The highest guy I have, it's actually no, I have Kevin Gray is the highest, but he's not going here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about defense. I'm talking about defense.
Has there been no O-line taken outside of Beckett Miller in that center?
That doesn't surprise me at all. I think every mock had Gray falling, and that's realistic.
Picks in the 22nd overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. The Indianapolis Colts select Hudson Adam, defensive tackle, West Virginia. Falcons
I'm sorry to anyone who wanted Hudson Adam that I brought him up.
So I guess they're trading. Well, actually, this really doesn't make any sense unless they're trading Quentin Smith, because I don't know how they'd run their defense. Anyway, the Falcons are on the clock for what feels like the third time.
That was the other guy I was hoping to trade up for, so fuck you, Neo.
I'm sorry.
Just keep hyping up people that you don't care about so that they take them instead of the what stuff you actually want.
That's what I'm doing. I just got 2 messages that just say, and I quote, "Fuck you, Neo."
It's a hard knock life.
It's hard out there for a broadcaster. Gotta talk about something, guys. I'm sorry.
The rest of the defensive tackles are complete ass.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, Quentin Smith is officially on the block. That's sad. That dude is a legend.
I don't think they're going to be able to trade him. His contract is really big.
That makes this a very questionable pick.
Got NFC and AFC teams both messaging me on Discord.
Dumbo says, "Hey everyone, I hear this great new player, Daniel Hutchins, is available."
Daniel Hutchins is available now.
He's a legend. He's 5'7" of pure muscle. "5'7" running back. God help you, you take him. Picks in with the 23rd overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. The Atlanta Falcons select LaMichael Harley, guard, Michigan. The Patriots are on the clock again.
I wonder if the Falcons hate me most of all, because I know they've been, they make fun of the fact that they've been mocked defensive tackles forever, but here they had a prime opportunity to maybe get Hudson Adam, and
they could have had Hudson Adam or Kevin McQueen, and they passed on both. So
that's true. I'm really glad they passed on Kevin McQueen. That would have been a little bit too real. Falcons drafting players from Louisiana, that would have got a little too real.
Laser Cats, are you taller than Daniel Hutchins?
Which you might be.
My new running back at Temple is 5'7".
My running back the last running back I recruited at Arizona was a 4.5. He is 5'6" and over 200 pounds.
What the fuck?
He is like, I'm pretty sure he's Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles doesn't weigh like 250 pounds though.
He's not that much. He's like 200. I know he's over 200. It's like, he's definitely shaped like a bowling ball.
Rams are trying.
I got him from like Arkansas too.
What?
It's so weird. I got him from Arkansas and Arizona.
Yeah, my running back that's going to be my starter this year is 5'7", 219.
Cesari says Neo is way too proud of literally the worst state in America.
He's totally wrong. We're really terrible, but we're not quite the worst. I'd rather live in Louisiana than Mississippi or Arkansas or most of Alabama.
Laser Cats has confirmed that she is indeed taller than Daniel Hutchins and recruited him with intimidation.
Nice.
Pick is in. With the 24th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Geno Harris, wide receiver, Ole Miss. The Ravens are now.
Oh.
Ravens got sniped, I think.
No.
Yeah,
I
mean
don't like that.
They'll probably take another wide receiver here, I would imagine.
I don't think they might not have gotten sniped just because I don't know that they like Harris that much.
Patriots picked Geno Harris. Doctor says he's killing himself right now. Duncan says 1v1 me IRL, you coon ass. I don't really know what's going on in the shout box anymore, but I'm enjoying it.
So, coon-ass is a derogatory term that is
used they use it here.
Sort of friendly, in a friendly way between country hicks from Louisiana. So he's, so Mississippi people make fun of people from Louisiana by saying they're coon-asses.
I feel like it's just a southern thing because Florida people use it all the time, too.
Yeah, it's really like a southern country thing for sure. It's like coon-ass and Cajun are kind of like two different things. So like the regular white country hicks call themselves coon-asses, and then like the Cajuns are a little different. There's some mild intermixing, but they're mostly split up. And then there's like Creoles, which are like the mixed race people.
By the way, I just looked it up. Quentin Smith is set to make $15 million this year, $15 million next year, each with $9.75 million guaranteed.
Yeah, so that's basically what
he's
Jeremy
uncuttable
Miller makes.
Too.
That's basically what Jeremy Miller makes. I think we're guaranteed him a little less though.
Well, they need a linebacker, and they need a safety. I don't think they do. No. They need a linebacker and wide receiver. That's really all they really need.
Well, there's Christensen.
Not an outside linebacker. They need an inside. Jones.
So Clayton. He's a guy that I like left. I'm not a huge fan of the other. Was it the next?
They have Hardison, but I don't think he's been that great.
No, I like Clayton. There's some other guys out. There's another guy I like, but it's nowhere near late enough to take him. Not even close to the first. So if they don't take Clayton here, I don't know about inside linebacker for them. I do like Clayton a lot. He's stout. He reminds me a lot of who's that inside linebacker from Wisconsin that retired like after 2 years from the 49ers. Chris Borland, was that him? Yeah. Clayton reminds me of Borland.
We got a Jonestown situation going on in Baltimore. I've not heard anything from Doctor or Monarch since they said kill myself.
Did they really have Harris rated that much higher than the other wide receivers?
I guess.
If I were them, I would take a chance on Chambers or Hakeem Black. I think both are pretty good value here.
I don't see what the Ravens are so worried. If they wanted a receiver, I don't see why they're so worried about it. I mean, did they really like Harris that much better than the rest of these guys? I mean, I know everybody grades things differently, but I had two of the guys that are left ahead of Harris. Three of the guys.
So the Patriots have taken a wide receiver in the first round twice in 3 years.
Well, one of them, the other one that they took hasn't lived up to his.
Well, that might be because they have Brett Davis as their quarterback.
Yeah, that is definitely part of it. Boy, they really need to. They need to do something about that. Alien, you are pretty tall, but we don't know how tall that girl is. That's an inappropriate. That is an imprecise scale.
I said she's 5'1".
Oh, okay. I thought it was. Okay.
Baltimore still thinking about it. I wonder if they're trying to trade. Another team that needs a wide receiver might want to trade up here, like the Chargers.
Somebody who likes Hakeem or Malcolm Davis or somebody.
The Chargers, their pick is 33, so it's not like they would be moving back that far. It's out of the first round.
Tampa Bay has traded up with the Ravens. It is the... Oh my god. They gave up... Wait, never mind. I read this wrong. Wait, yeah, no. They gave up a second, a third, and a fifth next year for this... Oh, for just the first. I don't know if that's... I don't know which direction that trade is bad in. But
This is gonna be Grady for Tampa.
Really?
You're probably right.
I think so.
I don't really like... It seems very wrong. I don't know.
Wait, did they trade?
I think this is Tyrant.
They traded. Okay, yeah, they traded their second.
They traded Demarius Strong to Carolina for some reason, and he was the starting defensive end for them.
Darman said he looked at Facebook expecting people to be talking about them picking Mohammed Foster. When you've been on the site too much today. Seems like a terrible trade for Baltimore the more I look at this. They give up a first for a second, third, and a fifth next year?
The second is only
Picks
like...
in. Oh, I do not like this pick. With the 25th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, Tampa Bay selects Christopher Clayton, linebacker, Penn State.
Oh, they love inside linebacker, though. They wanted a linebacker. I kind of thought that they would try to snipe us for Holiday.
I'm sorry to say this for the Buccaneers, but I think of Clayton the same way that I felt about Mark Harrington. He's not great.
That's pretty damning.
All right, I'm pretty glad that Clayton.
I actually liked him so little that I immediately recruited another 5-star the next cycle, Bradley Rainey.
That's another guy I was not at all high on.
Well, he's not in the draft this year.
No, I mean Clayton.
Didn't you just say you liked Clayton like 2 picks ago?
Yeah, but I also, want guys we're not interested in to get drafted ahead of us.
His combine was pretty good, though. I mean,
one thing I will say, at least they didn't. I mean, I guess they gave up a second. I don't know. It doesn't feel like they gave up that much, but I don't really think this is great. But they did take Denoris Jackson, so.
Denoris Jackson was a great pick for them. I don't like. They've been wanting an inside line.
Yeah, as Bubata said, statistically, Clayton was the third best linebacker on Penn State this year.
Yeah, that's precisely why.
I don't think this is a good pick. But he is better. I will say, if you were considering another linebacker, he is better than Jamal Harley, I think.
I don't like any of the line. I don't like any of the linebackers in here other than Holiday, which is why we took Holiday at 9.
inside linebacker is so important for defense.
Yeah, it is, which is why I don't want to half-ass it, which is why I think this is not a great pick.
I went from freaking Milligan to Alex Martin, so.
Oh, they had I forgot they had Mobley, but they got rid of him, I think.
Yeah, they should have drafted Akil last year.
They really should have drafted Akil last year.
It's been 8 months and it's still funny.
And then they tried to get Zion and Green Bay, and then eventually Seattle kind of snaked them out of it. What is Buffalo going to do here?
Why is Buffalo on the clock every third pick?
They had 2, but they traded back. So I think they're going to take one of the wide receivers. They are really thin there.
By the way, we're approaching the end of the first. What time are we starting tomorrow? 7, I think?
4 o'clock.
Oh, you're starting earlier? Okay. For just 2 rounds?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that gives people the evening to go to Halloween parties or whatever. So in case you didn't hear that, 4 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, 1 Pacific.
Buffalo, I mean, they could go a lot of things here. There's just not a lot of talent left for first-round prospects. Maybe they could go Cameron Riley. I don't know if he's necessarily a first-round pick, but he is, I think, the best strong safety in this class. They do need a strong safety. I'm not sure. Let me look at what they have for.
I legitimately don't know what to think of Riley.
What do they have for free safety? Because I think the other free safety is pretty good too. I'm not sure which one it is.
I didn't really scout free safeties beyond DeQuell Moore. Oh, I know which one. It's well, first of all, we can't have a broadcast without talking about fantastic name, Damani Crump Jackson at free safety. Fantastic name, possibly the best in the class. Somebody should draft him early, just based on earning it with that amazing.
It is a pretty good name. What is a Crump Jackson?
Yeah, Travion Howard is one I was thinking of. I like him a lot. They're free safety. They drafted somebody last year, I guess, but he's only an 81. But he is happy, so maybe they want to keep rolling with him. But Keyshawn Ayamadeo is considering retirement, and they don't have a guy who's like really highly thought of behind him. Gregory Knoll of Georgia State, second-year player. He was a rookie last year. He's their backup.
Man,
He's an 80, but
the more I look at depth in this class, like we're heading towards a cliff. Like in like 30 picks, it just goes massively downhill really quickly. Unless you need offensive tackles.
No, those are going to be there.
There's going to be a run at some point.
There's going to be a run. I'm 100% convinced there's going to be a run on those. It hasn't happened yet. I expected to see it.
So we only have, by the way, we have 6 picks left, including Alien and the Super Bowl champions. Saints are trying to move up again.
No comment.
Oh, the pick is in for Buffalo.
With the 26th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Tyron Chambers, wide receiver, Arkansas. Cowboys are now on the clock.
I know Saluna doesn't like that guy, but I think he's pretty good. Especially
I think
at the
he's-
end of
I
the
think he's a
first
good
round, that's
number
pretty
2.
good value.
I think he's an excellent. I think he has a high ceiling as a number 2 receiver.
I just don't like him. So that means the 3 of the top 4 wide receivers have now gone to the AFC East. Each of them, interestingly, the Jets were the one that I thought needed one the most. They might not be getting one.
I think they'll still get one.
They probably still will still get one.
There's only 3 picks till they pick, so.
Who's the first pick in the second round? They're going to be getting. They could
Chargers.
Oh, they do. Okay, they might be getting lots of calls overnight. It's so sad not picking in the first round. This is the first time this has ever happened to me, and it's like I'm spectating.
That's what happened the year after I got Nicole, because I traded my first.
And you went bowling or something, and then almost didn't make it back for your pick, and then you picked a bunch of garbage.
Well, I think I got Marvin White in that draft.
I think Greg Martin was your.
And yeah, I got him too. But Marvin White was good for me. So.
All I remember about that draft is that you were bowling, and I had to send you text updates where we were. Jumbo says he hates me.
Dallas needs defensive end help. Maybe they'll take Grady.
They've taken so many defensive ends.
They've been trying to trade one of their defensive ends, I thought.
I thought there was like a rumor brewing between the Cowboys and the Panthers, and then it didn't happen, so.
They have Joseph Randolph, who's like okay. They took him in the first. And then they have like nothing really behind him.
Randolph's very
On the other
underwhelming
side.
for a first rounder.
Yeah. And they don't really need O-line. I mean, obviously they're
I
one of the
can't.
best O-line.
I seriously cannot believe that there's only been one tackle taken.
Maybe they. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. This is gonna be Grady. Yeah, it's gonna be Grady.
It could be one of the strong safeties. Oh no, they have fucking. Never mind. They have.
Yeah, they're not gonna take Riley.
I'm actually surprised nobody's talked about Riley. Really, he's. Well, now that we're talking about him, I'm sure he's going to go in the first round. And also, Cordell McKinnon has been like totally forgotten about. Slinky says he would have taken tackle if tackles hadn't fallen to them in previous years.
I think the problem with McKinnon is he had that substance abuse thing, and like his pro day didn't seem that good. So if you're taking a chance on a guy, you want them to be like at least have really high upside.
Unless you're the Browns.
But as we've heard before, that some of these guys who have substance abuse problems might underperform in the combine if they were like on drugs. So you never quite know.
The Saints are definitely up to something. It's been silent, and Imposter is doing something.
Saints trying to trade up for Cordell McKinnon, probably. They were really upset when McQueen went, so we know they're still trying to get a corner. I suppose they could also go for Riley because I know they drafted a strong safety last year, but they ended up benching him. I think that Pitt player, I believe. What was his name?
Corey Davis, and
Yeah.
we're not giving up on him, right? Like that's way too soon.
He's unhappy. I know that.
Yeah, so is the other safety, Donahue, but I'm fairly certain that's fixed based on like it's a coaching thing based on what tweaks we were doing, and I'm fairly confident that that's fixed.
Could also be Grady. I know they're looking for D's, and he's like the last one who's really like anything worth writing home about. I guess Patton, if you want to wait until maybe the third, although he might even go in the second.
4 minutes left for the Cowboys. Pick should be in soon. I'm gonna start looking. Who has like the most picks tomorrow?
I have three, I think.
Saints have 3.
I mean, it's 2 rounds, so that's not that many. Browns have 3. Cowboys have 3. Somebody's got to have a lot because a bunch of people traded down.
The pick in
7th round picks,
Pick is
including
in.
the last 2 picks.
With the 27th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Javier Grady, defensive end, North Texas. Rams are now on the clock.
and he's staying home.
Oh yeah, I guess he is. It's not far from Denton to Dallas.
The Rams were one of the teams that people had a lot of trouble mocking. So they're probably just going to go best pick, which is probably offensive tackle at this point. Although maybe they need a corner. Who do they have as their second corner? They have Polesfoot. Oh yeah, they kind of need a corner. So maybe they're gonna take McKinnon here.
I think my mic was muted again. They took Grady in case it was.
No, oh right, yeah. No, I think the shot box reacted to it.
Yeah, I think it died like right after.
Oh, okay.
Ravens have 5 picks tomorrow. Doctor wants to restart the draft because it went poorly for them.
I feel like that's the same shit that happened last year, and that's why they ended up taking Brett Fisher.
There's so many quarterbacks that got like picked last year that we've not seen. Fisher, Graham, Burnett. It's pretty crazy, like, especially high picks.
What was the guy who went to the Panthers? Hamilton?
John Hamilton.
John Hamilton, yeah.
He's essentially like Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not going to start ever.
I don't know, yeah.
We may very well see like 5 new quarterbacks in week 1 this year, which is like we barely. I think we saw 1 last year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's going to be Bowman. Foster maybe is like a 50-50. Burnett's starting. Fisher, I don't think is starting. Unless he looks good in preseason. Then we have Kamau back. And then whatever the Cardinals do. Erasmus McCree is going to be on the Chiefs. Why the Chiefs didn't try to... Well, I guess they might still take a quarterback tomorrow.
I think the Chiefs are going to roll with McCready as their starter. They like him.
That's what it sounded like. He asked me for Kamau right after I got Rice, and he just didn't want him, I guess, for a 6th rounder or whatever it was at the time. May have been a cap problem. I don't know.
Oh, and Mike Thomas could possibly start.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
I don't think so either, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Oh, I think that's actually more likely than it seems.
Smoking Cricket wanted to do a interview, so after his pick, we might get him in here.
It seems like almost nobody likes their picks at the moment. Even the people that are like have just picked are very like meh.
I mean, that's basically this draft. Like outside of the top 12, maybe 15, maybe almost all the top 15. Like outside of that, I'm not sure anybody's super pleased.
This draft was definitely like by far the least hyped ever. I think just because of how bad it was. It's a really shitty draft class.
The Bengals are happy, I know that.
Yeah, the Bengals are.
The Bengals are happy, but again, they're in that little range.
Oh yes, Sleep Bears can come in here and explain his draft strategy. You want to move him in here?
Why are the Rams taking a full time period?
I know they were looking to trade down.
We have, as of 1 minute ago, surpassed the time that it took last year. First round.
Yeah, we slowed down a lot, but we're not that far from the end. Only what, 5 more picks?
Well, it could be potentially 50 minutes.
That's true.
It's been the last 4 picks were 31 minutes. The Bills have 3 first rounders next year.
And they picked up one of Arizona's 2.
And they have Houston's again, I think.
It's Houston,
Yeah.
Arizona. And there's...
I think that's going to be a good payout for Buffalo.
Why does somebody always have 3 first round picks? It happens so often.
Do you want to move Sleuth in here?
Sure.
Yo, Sleuth. He has it muted.
No, I already took it off.
No, I think that's his mute.
Yeah.
There he is.
Hello.
Hey.
Howdy.
Welcome.
So, explain your draft.
Trade.
Why did you pass up on the quarterback? Why did you trade with a division rival? Why?
Pittsburgh traded up with the Rams.
Yeah, so I'll start at the top. The reason we traded with Miami is because they gave us by far the best offer. A couple other teams inquired about the pick, and we told them what Miami offered, and they were like, no. So we went with Miami's offer.
Give me a second. With the 28th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Cordell McKinnon, cornerback, Michigan State. The Jets are now on the clock.
I like that pick for them.
Yeah, that's a fit. So, Sleuth, I'm curious. How hard were you guys trying to get up to the first overall pick? If you'd be willing to even tell us what offer, maybe.
We never seriously pursued the number 1 overall. We really liked Easley and we wanted him, but not for the price that the Chargers wanted. Yeah, we contacted them a bit, but there was never anything super serious.
Interesting. So it wasn't even about a quarterback. It was you guys really liked Easley.
Yeah. We also considered trading up to number 2 to grab Bowman, but that was a couple of weeks ago, and we never really pursued that either. I really liked Bowman. I was a little bit less enthused about Foster, but overall, our offense is just really bad right now, and we weren't too keen on just throwing a rookie quarterback into it as is.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So are you guys thinking riding it out this year with mostly what you have and then whatever you draft, and then trying to build something a little better next year?
Yeah, basically. One of our goals this offseason was just to build our offense and then hopefully grab a franchise or try to grab a franchise quarterback next year. Yeah.
Okay, well, you did manage to get a little more ammunition, so you're walking into next year with 2 first-round picks, one from Miami, one from yourself. Okay, cool. Anybody else got anything else for Sleuth?
Nope. Thanks for coming on.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. That was Sleuth the Bears, New England Patriots general manager.
We should bring on more interviews. These are pretty good. Helpful.
Yeah, anybody else want to give their thoughts on
I think Cricket
their pick? Preferably one that wasn't super obvious, or something where there's some intrigue.
Cricket hasn't made a pick, though, so that's kind of weird.
Yeah, unless he made a pick, it's kind of pointless. Don't really have much to talk about.
I guess Pump is openly talking about how much he didn't really want Easley, but took him anyway. So it seems like a rookie mistake.
Yeah, and I mean, if you couldn't trade down, if I'm in that situation, I probably would have just taken Beckett Miller first. I mean, if you couldn't trade down, even to take like a value loss to get like something else.
The Steelers gave up their 2nd and 3rd to move up to the Rams spot. These are steep prices for tail end of the first, but I guess you get that option year.
Especially in this bad of a draft, you'd think teams would be more eager to move out.
The 3rd? That's pretty ridiculous. I would like a 2nd and like a 5th, maybe like an early 2nd.
Green Bay traded up.
Oh wow, they traded up. They jumped in front of Houston and Las Vegas. What? What could they possibly be taking?
I don't think it's in, so.
With the 29th overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Brady Christensen, outside linebacker, Mississippi State. Houston Texans are now on the clock.
That is the last guy I liked, I think, for round 1.
Yeah, it is for me too. Was there really a need to...
I think maybe they thought I was going to take an outside linebacker. Because it is kind of a need for me, but it definitely wasn't, so...
But I don't know, unless Houston really wanted one, and they gave up a 4th rounder to move up 3 spots. So,
I think Houston's targeting offensive players. That's just a hunch. I think they want to try to build their offense around that young quarterback and
Houston
try to
is so bad that I don't
develop him.
They have no players. Like they traded all their picks for players and then got rid of all those players for worse picks.
Yeah, Roman's not a...
To be fair, they did swap GMs in the middle of that, so you have 2 different strategies.
Well, they should probably have coordinated that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Gil and Rome have not done very good so far.
It's like they don't talk to each other. Well, in any case, I don't know. This could like almost be anything, but I think we're not in a good value spot again.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of what's left for the first round. But I mean, hey, if there's a guy maybe early 2nd and you want to get that 5th a fifth-year option on him.
I suspect I know what the Jets are taking. I think it's probably Hakeem Black.
Yeah, Jets definitely wide receivers. I think they figured that what probably happened is they're willing to trade with the Packers because there's a couple guys left that they like.
And Spiral confirmed that he traded up to get in front of Alien. He was 50-50 on whether it would happen, but I mean he didn't give up that much, so.
Yeah, I mean, if like Brandon Thomas was still there, maybe I would have taken him. But Brady Christensen, he's good. I like him, but I wasn't really.
That would have been a real good value for this class if Thomas had been still here. We might still be trying to trade up if Thomas was still there.
Oh, apparently the Texans were taking Brady Christensen.
That doesn't surprise me, actually. Now that I actually am looking at their roster, I'm not that surprised. They did just trade Jeff Brooks, and he was better than the guy they got in return. So yeah, actually that would make sense. But ooh, Taffy says he's got trade stories if you want to bring him on. In the meantime, has TCU had a good player come out? It seems like they've always got really players that just you have to look down on them. Wyman was really hated. Both of the TCU guys this year, the outside linebacker Kearns is terrible. I don't have him as draftable. And then what's his face Malone? I don't know why he declared early at all. I don't like him either. Daquan Darcy is the only halfway decent-looking TCU player, and I'm not convinced that he's any good yet.
Oh, my mic was muted. I took out the proletariat speech. Shared it. Houston's got 5 minutes left. Danger, can't watch the broadcast right now. Tell me if they talk about Sela. Just another top player for Danger to ruin.
I mean, to be fair, that might be my favorite value pick.
I think I don't know, actually. I mean, honestly, Bowman, probably. But you couldn't really fuck that up. There was no...
I'm talking falling value, though. Everybody knew Bowman was going 1 or 2 or 3 at lowest.
This is Danger's worst case scenario. Everyone's telling them that we're shitting on his graduations.
No, that's the thing, Stinzy. None of them fucking graduated. They all left early for no reason.
It's because he has too many good players. It's too good. Like I said before, I think
the thing is, they all leave.
I think Danger broke it because they fucking get to 5-star and then he just has another 5-star, so they want to leave because they know they're not going to start because he forces younger people in. He's broken the game.
Now he has a shit ton of points too, so he's gonna
he's gonna get another
kill Texas and just be
and then also manipulate his way into getting a star player or two from outside.
Who are these gullible people that are getting manipulated by Danger?
Dude, Danger is a fucking recruiting mastermind. The way he he is so amazingly subtle. The way he recruits, it's he's not just recruiting.
Hold on a second. 30th pick is in 20 of 21 NFL draft. The Houston Texans select Hakeem Black, wide receiver, California. The Raiders are now on the clock.
I like that pick for Houston.
If the Raiders take Malcolm Davis here, I think Jumbo's going to jump off a bridge.
Yeah, and I could definitely see it happening.
Houston, I don't know why they picked a receiver here. They have Marvin.
It makes no fucking sense. I just thought about this.
They have the other guy from Colorado. What's his name?
Oh, it's Jeremy Scarborough. Yeah, this makes absolutely.
Oh, I forgot he was even there.
This makes absolutely no sense. I think this might be one of the only positions they didn't need.
Oh my god. I see. The thing is, I just went ahead and assumed okay, they got a young quarterback. They need to get him weapons.
Jumbo got greedy for a 4th round pick, and now he's in deep shit.
I mean, look. I will give it to. I really do like Hakeem Black a lot. I think he's. I think he's really good. I think he can be good.
It's the one thing they didn't need.
I don't love that pick now.
Literally take another offensive tackle.
I like him a lot as a prospect, but it's not. You're right. It's not a fit at all. I totally forgot Scarborough was even in Houston.
I don't care whether Hakeem Black turns out good or not. There's no fucking. You don't need 3 wide receivers of that skill level.
No.
This is also the 3rd wide receiver they've taken in the 1st round, I think. Scarborough, the fucking Kleinsasser, and
the dude from Michigan. Yeah, Kleinsasser was garbage.
So they've taken 3 wide receivers in 8 drafts in the 1st round. Alien, you have the power to kill Jumbo.
I know, somebody is PMing me about trading.
I wonder who.
No, it's not Jumbo.
Oh, okay. Make him draft Adam Coles, please.
Alright, so we've got from Rome, he hates all the defensive prospects left. Which is fair.
Take an offensive
What's
tackle.
What's on their offensive line, though?
It doesn't matter if you have 2 good offensive tackles. They fucking don't last very long. Just take a young offensive tackle. It's good.
They could have taken Kevin Gray there. Oh, Jeremy Scarborough was a 2nd round pick, not a 1st round.
Okay, well, still, it's a top 2.
Still, yeah, he's good. He's good. I gotta look at Houston's thing right quick, because if they could have taken Gray.
Do they need a strong safety? Because all the strong safeties, I think, are pretty decent.
He must hate Riley.
Didn't they trade Manning?
They got Fane. They got Fane. No, Fane's a free safety. Is he a free safety or a strong safety?
Strong safety.
Okay, so yeah, so they have Fane now.
Who's their free
safety? So they didn't really need a strong safety.
Who's their free safety?
The only free safety that is really that respectable to me is Howard. He's not a 1st. I don't think he's a 1st round guy though. Alien, did you have Howard as a 1st round guy? Oh, he's making a pick. He's not fancy. Alien's not going to take Riley because he's got freaking Pennington. Pennington's so good. What am I doing? Oh yeah, right. So I'm looking for Houston's depth chart team page. Houston, I hope you updated your team page.
Pick is in.
With the 31st pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas, new edition, Raiders select Malcolm Davis, wide receiver, Kansas. The Jets are now on the clock.
Oh, Jets, seppuku. Davis is a guy we like. We liked Black a lot. We like Davis a lot too. That's gonna look good. Hall's gonna make him a beast.
Jumbo, Rex Walsh is still available, by the way.
Cool.
Do you often go into other people's bathrooms to take a dump?
Well, anyway, I have some. My second receivers are not very good. I like 2 number 3 receivers, so I wanted somebody.
Jumbo said, "I prefer Cole. Suck my dick."
I wanted somebody that.
Yeah, he said jokes on you.
somebody who could step in and be number 2 right away. I actually really wanted Hudson Adam, but he didn't fall very far. So
Houston has 2 good offensive tackles, but the one's in the 5th year, one's in his 6th year. They could have taken Gray there.
The sad thing about not having a first-round pick means that Rome can't suck my dick off for the next 6 months about how great my draft was. Jets with the last pick of the day. Again, 4 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Pre-game show will start, or pre-draft show start like 10, 15 minutes beforehand.
So, Gray is going to drop out of the first round because there's no way the Jets are taking another falling offensive tackle.
Yeah, that's really surprising to me.
That's just stupid.
Chargers might take him number 1 tomorrow, or they
should. They should take him number 1.
He's the last guy left that I had a first-round grade on. They might not even take a wide receiver here at this point. You could just wait.
Yeah, they might not. But what else are they going to go for? I mean, what's really left?
Thirsting for some lemons.
Jaheim.
Fucking Thurston is way better than Jaheim Lemons. I know that.
Yeah, Thurston.
Jaheim Lemons. Who did he go to? Because he was fucking awful.
Dude, he's garbage.
I don't know where he is, but he's not good.
No, he's garbage.
I think he went to the Dolphins.
Could there? Is there any chance? No, I have Matt Stone. They're not going to take a tight end.
Oh, I actually thought about that too, but no, they won't.
No, they have Matt Stone. He's a beast.
Well, I have 2 good tight ends. They could. If
I have such a man crush on Matt Stone. They're not going to spend another. They're not going to spend another first on a tight end though.
No, yeah, that's true. I'm looking at last year's draft just to compare what what was being drafted at this time, and it's like fucking ridiculous how much worse this class is. It's not even comparable. Even with all the early declarations, like if we didn't have those, would just be utter trash.
Yeah, I remember looking at this list before the early decks, and I was like, I might just trade all my picks.
Like last year around this pick, we had Daquan Darcy, Jordan Harris, Sean Bell, Michael Williams, Musa Good, Tyrus Wilson was 46, J.B. Blacknell 52. We have like nothing now. Jets with 5.5 minutes, taking the full time just to fuck over in spiral. Why would the Colts draft a wide receiver when you have Tyrone McGee? I would, you couldn't fucking pay me to take Tyrone McGee onto my team. I have to transcribe my write-up still. I'll probably post it tomorrow morning. Or maybe late tonight, we'll see. Depends on how I feel.
You should post it tonight. That way I can read it after I watch some episodes of Stranger Things.
Yeah, maybe. I want to go on a run first and then take a shower and stuff.
Gotcha.
Afterwards.
While we wait for the Jets to pick, what do you think is the biggest steal and the biggest reach of the first round?
Sela is the biggest steal.
Reach is Andrew Boyd. Or Sean Taylor, either one of those.
I'm going Taylor, I think.
I also think Dean Strauss is a pretty high reach.
I think DeQuell Moore, even though a lot of people were expecting DeQuell Moore to go at 12, I still think that's that's one of the better value picks. I love that pick.
If you saw his pro day, it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, he was. I mean, we don't really need a free safety, and I was tempted at 9. I mean, he's awesome.
I think he has a ceiling similar, not quite as high, but
Darius Jones. Yeah, that's exactly what I was literally discussing that with some GMs last night. That I think he's very similar to Darius Jones.
I think Christopher Clayton is also.
The Giants are pretty good defensively, so they are in a good spot with him. I think they still need to figure out what the fuck they're doing on offense, but they have no receivers at all. In fact, the Giants were trying to trade up to my spot to take a receiver. So
Yeah, they liked who is it? Give me a second. Davis. They really like Davis.
I think the Jets are trying to trade this pick, by the way.
I wouldn't be surprised. Somebody might want Gray before the Chargers get a shot at him. And slap that 5th-year option.
Is this the every other year where the Jets have a terrible draft?
Yeah, it's every odd year. With the 32nd pick of the 2021 NFL draft and the last pick in the first round, the New York Jets select Adam Coles, wide receiver, Pittsburgh. Chargers are now on the clock tomorrow at 4.
Well, there we go. Adam Coles, slot receiver. Extraordinaire.
Destiny.
Well, they knew what they wanted.
They only draft players from the state of Pennsylvania.
That was an agonizing, last half of the round.
Every single NFC or AFC East team
took a wide receiver. That's pretty fucking crazy.
Every cornerback in that division is just sweating, like cold sweat.
Except all the cornerbacks are pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, I tried to trade what's his face? Laurent Christensen from the Dolphins. I've been trying to obtain him for I don't even know how long. I offered them a first-round pick last year.
Wow, I'm surprised they didn't do that. That's for a second corner.
Yeah. They didn't take it. They turned me down. I was like, all right.
All right. Draft tomorrow starts at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. We are doing rounds 2 and 3, and then on Sunday we're doing 4 through 7, also starting at 4 o'clock.
Those will be quick though, because that's fucking. That'll be silly silly broadcast time when we start doing stupid shit.
Will we get into players in the 60s this year? Maybe.
Will we spend at least an entire round talking about ridiculous names?
How many episodes of Stranger Things will I review on air?
Who is going to pick a kicker in the second round tomorrow? Probably the Rams.
What team will I make fun of the most for doing dumb shit, like taking a kicker in the second round? Tune in for these questions and more tomorrow at 4. Good night, folks. Take care. See you tomorrow.
Good night.